What's going on, everybody? That always happens in the beginning. I forget to push that button. Otherwise, you start hearing me take deep breaths as I take in the fresh air and let out the bad air. How's everybody doing today? Today's Thursday in the house. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is John Ryan from Coffee Talk and Tech, and we do this little thing on Thursdays where we do a little Q&A on Tech Talk, especially pushed for new YouTubers and new streamers. And so we work on just queuing up people to better themselves and to take themselves to the first level and the next level and the next level while improving their look, their sound. And we just talk about fun stuff and have a few laughs too. So let's go find Jeffrey Smith. We're going to go see where he is and pull him into the stream because he is my co-host. Let's check him out. Here he is, Jeffrey Smith.
I was with the cool kids in the chat drinking my coffee out of my second other mug. Remember?
Oh man,
I had the other one. I had to do the left hand deal because we still don't have that fixed.
So you told me about that, right? So I went to go check that out, and lo and behold, there is a left and a right side, double side, and I don't even know.
There's a double side, really?
Yeah, but the thing is, I couldn't just drag and drop that in. So I don't know why my logo just couldn't repeat onto the other side. And so, I'm not really sure why. So if no one knows what we're talking about, last week I got some cups made up and Jeffrey was kind enough to pick a few of them up. And there it is.
Eventually it will. There we go. So this is the second one.
So that's the second one, right? And so he told me everything is pretty much all lefty. And so I had no idea. And he's like, you got to go in there and take a look and see if you can make the cups on both sides or righty especially. So I looked at it and lo and behold, there was a spot to do that. So
it's not something I would have thought about. I don't think. I think it's one of those things where it's like anything. Once you start using it, you're like, oh, it doesn't show up on the right hand when you're doing this.
I didn't even have a clue, to be honest with you. So I was like clueless to the fact. So it was kind of interesting that you brought that up. And when I went and checked it, there it was.
Great logo. Look at everybody.
Yeah.
It's here. Look at it. It's beautiful.
I was definitely clueless about that. So,
I mean, the thing is, John, I think you spent about, what'd you say, 24 grand to get that logo done. You spend that kind of money. I mean, you do want to get it out there. You want to present it in the light that you intended, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of where I went wrong though, because I was like, so wanting to get it out so fast. I was like, didn't even pay attention to what I was doing. So that's part of the reason why I think I messed up. And if you didn't catch that, I don't know how long I would have went on with that. So
no, I mean, you need people with OCD that get on with you twice a week. And that will eventually root these things out much quicker.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I mean, I'll straighten it out. And, the T-shirts were pretty good. And there was a couple of things. I got the blue cups and I wasn't really happy with the way everything looked in general. So I have to call them up and then hopefully get my money back on two of those. And I got rid of the blue cups. So it's just the black cups and the white cups. So I'm learning.
Yeah, blue cups wouldn't have been my deal with your logo. I don't know why. I don't think I would have.
I like the way it looked with the red and the black and the blue.
I could see like aluminum and steel or some kind of like that would look really cool. Like some kind of metal. That would be kind of nice.
Well, that's what the steel did look cool. What's up, Brian Paul? How you doing? I saw he did a little stream today.
That stuff going on with that road. It's very interesting. I thought he sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I think he sounded good too. I think that sounds good in general. And I'll be messing with mine this week too, because I'm gonna.
You have the exact same one.
Yeah, I have the same exact one, and I'm planning on messing around with it and getting things. Now tonight, as anyone knows, we're not like on a certain topic. So if anyone wants to jump in here and ask a question or anything like that, we're good to go with
I've
that.
noticed that
So
though. Like I'll do like, hey, let's do something on Notion. Hey, I'm gonna buy a camera. Hey, what about your thumbnails? And Thursdays come along, and John's like, it's late in the week. We're gonna talk about sock puppets and Rode podcasters and
that's it.
something.
That's
Which
it.
I think it's great. I think it's great to soften it up. I like to hit them early in the week with some like, let's test them. Although I don't really think.
Oh, there'll be things though. I mean, we're gonna do things. It's just that we haven't yet. So, but tonight I might do a little test tonight.
Danielle.
Depending. Hi, Danielle. Thank you. I might do a little test tonight on my HDMI unit.
Oh, that'd be good.
Well, I might do that. And look what came in today.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah,
Another toy.
there it is.
Was this from Prime Days?
That is the
No, this is
Go
before then.
Pro.
Oh, look at that. That Pro 7's all ready to get on that zip line.
The GoPro 7, which they told me it was going to be here last week and it wasn't. So
that's always disappointing. Like my camera's supposed to come tomorrow and I'm trying to be chill about it going, whatever. If it doesn't, I got things to do. Like, so if it doesn't come, I'm going to have like at 2:00, I'm going to be like, where's my tracker? Where's my tracking?
yeah, because you're trying to be cool, but you're like, please get here so I can play with that.
Dude,
thing.
it's the only time we as adults really have Christmas is when Amazon's coming with one of these toys. And now, granted, the difference is we paid for our own toy, but we don't care. Once it's in the box, we forget about all that, right?
Oh, I'm just like, I think Ashley's in the same boat today. She got a GoPro 9 Black and she texted me today and she's like, oh, I've been messing with it. It's really cool. And I'm like, yeah, I'm, going to get mine today. And there it is. I didn't break it open yet. I'm actually going to break it open tomorrow and do a little work on it.
Yeah.
And hopefully things will be good. I can't wait. I'm pretty much anticipating. I kind of know how everything's going to work. The thing that has me most excited is the hyper smoothness, the gimbal effect that they started with the 7 and have improved it a little bit too. So,
yeah. And I think, we talk about that all the time. Like what's important, who's it for? The bottom line is, I mean, could that not be more important than on something like a GoPro?
No, right. And that's why it is the most important thing. And so this way,
I'm sorry, I stepped on you. Who's got the industry standard for internal like IBIS to setups and stabilization? Do you think?
Well,
problem I know, but
to be really honest with you, they have it by a little bit, but the other that makes like the 360. There's like a couple brand. I can't. That's the problem. My short-term memory never lets me remember the other brand. But there's the other competing brand that's very competitive with the Go. Like they have a competing one for $200, and this GoPro 7 Black is now $250. The Insta, I think it is what it's called, or something like that. And though they're very close with stabilization, very close, but it's they lack in other things. And I would have almost gotten the competitors, but the thing is, the audio is so bad out of that I wouldn't touch it because I didn't want to. That was the struggle. Hi, Mom, how you doing? Nice to see you.
There's Marlene.
Hello, and
hello.
She says hi too. There you go. Yeah.
She says hi to me. She said hi to me. Well, second,
right.
Eventually she's going to be like, she's going to put me first. Hello, Jeff. John.
So they have the Insta 360, which I was almost going to get because this thing is like this big, literally this big. And there's some amazing things you can do with it. The audio quality is really incredible out of it for how small it is. But the versatility, the toughness of the GoPro and all those other factors kind of just nudged them out. But the intriguing things of that little 360 even that little 360, which I don't know if you know, it has horizon leveling. So this is an issue, right? Where you're having like these hyper smooth gimbal effects taking place and in like the GoPro 7, you still have like an uneven horizon if you're capturing the horizon, which is kind of weird. And kind of funky sometimes. And
Is
now
that
when
more,
you,
would that make the viewer a little almost motion sickness, or is that just
yeah,
more of
I
an
mean,
annoyance?
no, it will stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
So with the GoPro 9 Black, what they did is when you're in linear mode, which is 2 crops in, okay, so it's not super wide, but when you're in linear mode, it does the leveling for you. So this way, it's
Now, when you say
cool.
linear, do you mean linear mode?
Linear, yeah.
Okay. Maybe that's an East Coast thing. Linear. I'm like, that's a term I wasn't aware of. Like, I got to get educated here. I hear you. Okay. That's just
Yeah,
my
Ash
ears
looked
here.
into the Insta360. Hey, did you notice on Tuesday how bad our audio was with as far as like when one of us talked, it stepped on us so bad. And then like the following week, it will be not like that, you know? And then we don't change anything. So it's like we have to keep this echo cancellation on because we have issues with it, even though we have the things that we shouldn't have to. I'm using vMix. I have Mix Minus in vMix, so I have no idea why I have to use it. It's kind of awkward, but
Well, we wouldn't if we could get me hooked up to vMix and we could do our peer-to-peer.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. So that's another thing that we're going to be working on, and that's
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't know it. I'm so like I'm calm all the time.
No, me too. I think it's going to be awesome. Because the way we look is going to be so much more advanced into.
Now it's going to make me a better looking version of myself.
Is it?
And you know, it'll put more money in my pocket, right? I'm hoping my eyesight will be better.
Well, the thing that I know is that at least that both of us will be in 1080p.
Yep.
And we'll have to get the hang of the transitions of this type of stuff where we blow each other up and then we make it slow. Yeah, I know.
Phrasing.
Be careful. So those are things that
this show just got wonky. Okay.
Yeah. Those are things that we're gonna have to work on a little bit. And
it'll be some time because we, in a way, I know I don't know if you want to tell people that, you know, you've been working with the Stream Deck thing, but I need to get a Stream Deck. I think it's going to be better to have a little more of that for that type. It's a little more complex and buttony. And I think to have some tangible feedback buttons in a way to kind of manage that. Do you think that'll be a more of an asset for that type of thing?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? So streaming is already, there's a lot of things going on. And so while you have your software starting your stream and you have your countdown, by the way, did anyone notice my new countdown today?
I thought it was very nice.
If you strolled in late, go back and take a look and see if you like the countdown or not, which I kind of approve.
This is what it comes to. We're like, hey, could you go back and check out that first 2 minutes?
Now. so the Stream Deck, I picked that up this week, and there's a lot of things people don't realize what a Stream Deck when they kind of start thinking about it. But the thing is, now I don't have to look for certain things in the software, so I could basically go and hit this, not even have to worry about going to find the button to click it. You know,
we know what you've been doing lately. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty cool things. And so it makes things kind of roll together a lot easier for your stream. And then you have call to actions that you can have set up to go. And I've been working on these types of things. And so right now I have my other camera over the top today because I was kind of doing some other stuff. But here's my Stream Deck, right? And the Stream Deck, you could see, this is one folder that I'm using in the Stream Deck. So here's my vMix folder right here. If I go and click that vMix folder, then I have another, because this is a back button. So then I have the other 14 buttons I can use for vMix itself. So when people think like it's only got 15 buttons, well, no, because you can go and just make one button and one folder, and then you got another 15 buttons for one thing.
Now you don't want to like drill down 4 levels though to get the things during the show. It's good like if you have subsets of different types of shows, or I think one level down would be fine. But I think if you start having to go through a show and like going down three layers just to get to a laugh button, I have this very big fear that 13 out of the 15 buttons for you are all going to be mute buttons or swear buttons or something. They're going to be like different versions.
Thanks, Ash. I appreciate that.
It's okay.
So
it's not as good as this one.
So the thing is, you're right. You don't want to go diving deep into things, right? But like you said, when I'm in vMix, then I could just have 15 dedicated buttons for vMix. Okay. Because remember we went through this and we started asking people, oh, what do you use the Stream Deck for?
Right.
I literally asked 8 people, 10 people, and I couldn't get many people to say more than, well, I mute my audio. I'm like, what do you mean you mute your audio?
If you literally asked 8, then you didn't ask 10. See, literally, if you ask 10, literally, then you can't have 8, literally. You asked a range, literally.
Yeah, call me out.
Yeah, I'm the ass of the group.
So no, I mean,
no, you're right. We did ask people. You were constantly asking people, hey, drop me why I should buy a 15-button Stream Deck.
Yes, exactly. So John says he went back and watched your timer. I'd like to see you dance for 10 minutes. John, I don't think I have the cardio to dance for 10 minutes at this point right now.
I think you do, man.
It has been so bad. I need to get myself in some kind of shape again, because round is a shape, but it's not the shape I like. So I want to, So I'm working on it, but I would love to dance for 10 minutes. That'd be fun. I think I could still do it. We'll see.
And like flash forward about 30 seconds, and here comes Danielle walking in.
That's all I do is push buttons. I push buttons and then I walk away.
Well, it's a good marriage be better program. Push those buttons in that relationship.
That's all I like to do. Just Jason, what's going on? I'm always
just Jason, JJ.
Eye out for you when you're going to do your stream. So we are watching for it, and I will see if that happens or if you do another one. Because I know you had a little difficulty with one, you had to cancel. So if anything comes up, let us know.
Yeah, it happens. Keep pushing, man.
So John says he uses it for mainly his overlays and sound effects, which is right. I mean, that's what you want it for, right? So you don't have to go finding something to click for your overlay. So if you need a 2-person overlay really quick, you can go and hit that button. Your 2-person overlay pops up. Or if you're switching between those 3 scenes, and you want to have a 1 scene.
There is nothing worse. There's nothing worse than trying to grab a mouse, maintain a conversation and eye contact. But even if you look off, you're moving too fast. You're not getting. All of a sudden, you realize how bad you are at mouse accuracy, and you're like, "This is why I don't play games on the PC, because I really suck at this." Right. And then you're trying, and so you're trying to do the whole cover. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get the overlay. Oh, I pushed the wrong one. Oh, come on, man.
Right.
It's so smooth, and Pullum's he does do a pretty good smooth job of his overlays. He's got that, but I think the Stream Deck really can clean that up. I'm a big believer in any kind of haptic feedback, and just not alt tabbing or tabbing out. I don't like that.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that, because it makes everything go so smooth, and that's the key to everything, is so you can keep the eye contact, things are flowing, and that's the idea.
Now, I don't have the Stream Deck, but I do have the software for my phone or tablet, and I will use it to test it out, because I don't want to put the money into the 15 yet, because I got all this other garbage I just did. Right. But I know it'll be fine, and it's fine to set it up, because I could use those profiles and just move them to the physical unit, but it will not be the same. There's just something about a button that I think that those buttons recess, right? There's a little bit of haptic feedback, or is it just totally touch? Is it screen touch, or is there a haptic?
No, there's not a half, but I think a what?
Haptic. It's a physical response to a button. So like a bzz, so haptic would be like a physical, to give you a signal that you push something on a screen. It could be a sound, but usually it's a feeling.
Oh,
like sometimes on your phone.
I mean, when you push it in, you get a feel like of a pushing of a button. There's no like electronical response or anything like that.
No, but there's some kind of physical response that lets you know an action has taken place, and that's not That's
Yeah.
a big deal in user interfaces. And so that's a problem with a lot of people who use LCD screens when they're ordering. They get
Right. There's no
annoyed, so you
physical
see it
feedback, so
buzz.
you're not sure if it actually depressed or not, is what you're saying, right?
They want to know they had success.
Right. Right. I always have success when I push buttons. Zan the man is here. What's going on,
Always.
Zan? And Zan is in the same boat. He's probably really pumped up
He is.
about his camera coming. And we know this, right? Because Zan ordered the Sony ZV-1, and we got Jeff waiting for his A6400.
I almost feel bad because mine's supposed to come tomorrow, Zan, but you never know. So we were just talking about it.
I got my GoPro Black, right? 7 Black today. And Ash has her GoPro 9. So we're all like set up this week. There's a lot going on with cameras.
Once Zan and I and Brian and everybody else get our GoPros, can we all go jump out of an airplane and hold hands together with our GoPros on our helmets?
I don't, well, we could try. We could try. I don't know if that's going to happen. Hey, I got, let me see here. I got Jason saying that he should be back with a live stream on Monday. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. So we'll keep an eye out for that too.
It's good to see Zan smile. Good to see him still.
He's Zan's a great guy, and he's stopping in. I know he's going to eat dinner in a little while. I know that.
Yeah, it's going to be we'll know where we are in the stream. He'll be like, hey, guys, it's 20 minutes to dinner. Yeah. And then it'll be 30 minutes to go by. And he's like, okay, I'm 10 minutes late, but I'm got to eat dinner.
Right.
I love that.
So this is really cool. This is, I believe it's Joe from Getting Junk Done. He says, hi, guys. I can't watch tonight, but I wanted to say hi. I'll catch you tomorrow during the day. Have a good one. He's got, if you haven't ever checked out his channel, he's got a great little channel. He goes into really detail of a lot of fixing stuff. And I tell you what, he does a good job. I think he's got somewhere in the realm of close to 18,000 subscribers. Nice. So he's really working it, and he's had this for a while, and he loves the tech. So I believe he got the ATEM Mini Extreme recently. And so that's no joke. And he's working it. So he loves that stuff. Excellent. Yeah. So
nice to see you, Joe.
He's reiterifying the word that I've never heard in my life.
He's just laying it out there for you. He's giving you visual reference of a word you did not know until tonight.
Like, yeah, I'm like, hectic. What's hectic about this?
I just push. I can't even come close to saying hectic, man.
Right. Yeah, right. We got a good choice of camera, guys. Everybody is going to be, killing it. So that's really awesome. And Zan says it's Christmas in summer. Right.
I was just saying that. I said that earlier, Zan. It's like adult Christmas. We have to pay for our own toys, but we sit around, we forget about that. Then we sit around at the front door, and it's like kids waiting for Santa to drop something off. It's really
awesome. It. So we're psyched about that.
I get socks at Christmas, so this little present will make my year.
Yeah, I've gotten socks for Christmas too. So
I'm kind of glad to get them.
And I've gotten nothing too. So let's check out here. Zan says, you guys know my schedule better than me. Wife normally has dinner around 7 p.m. So
why do I feel like his wife runs that house by like the 10-minute mark? Like, all right, here's the deal, man. You get 10-minute shower around 6:45 a.m. You got I'll give you 5 extra minutes, but 7 o'clock, it's breakfast.
Zan, I know you're going to be down there on that stream. And when I ring the bell up here, you come upstairs. Okay. Zan, I can hear it yelling.
You just tell those two hoodlums, you got to go eat.
Yeah. He's got that kind of name where you could just yell it from the guy, it's like, so. But that's I'm kind of excited to get the GoPro set up, because I have everything to go to get this vlogging set up, going. And this is where I'm going to work on a little bit for next week, actually. So I'm going to probably go into detail of my small vlogging rig. So
nice. All right.
And
you're putting together a micro. Let's call it a micro rig.
Micro rig. And by the way, GoPro sponsored nothing. So I just want to let you know they didn't sponsor anything. And Jeffrey is frozen.
So are you.
Yeah, because you were frozen. I was still talking.
No, but you were frozen.
Of course I was frozen because you were.
I don't like this game.
We were probably both frozen.
Yeah, StreamYard said enough.
StreamYard is like, guys, if you talk about vMix one more time,
Oh yeah, there's probably like a little AI in there, and he's like moderating us. That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He says,
you say that too
who
much.
needs Santa? I'm in trouble for saying that. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's it. Brian's like, you got to be the micro blogger. The only way I'll be a micro anything is see Jeff's laughing already. He's like micro blogger. Yeah, because there's nothing micro about me.
Oh,
Nothing I said micro about me.
Well, maybe because it looks micro next to you.
Could
Maybe that's it.
Could be.
You definitely will not be the micro part of that equation.
No,
but the rest of it could be. Is it in your? It'll be like this big in your little hands. You might need little children hands to run it.
Ashley said she got it for her birthday present. It's an early gift. What's better than that? That's
mine.
Awesome.
Mine was like 2 months ago. So whatever.
So, in a little bit, I think I'm going to get into this little rig here that I have set up. Okay. This is my wireless HDMI. So I have the wireless unit on the side right here. I'll blow myself up a little bit. Yeah. And so you can get a better look of this here. So this is my wireless HDMI unit here. Okay. And it's hooked up to the ZV-1. And I just got it on a little tripod. It's a Ulanzi MT16 extended tripod setup. And maybe I'm going to plug it in and see if I can get it to sync up. So that's going to be the idea. So I have an ATEM Mini down here. And if you guys don't know what this is a switcher. And I can go through 3 to 4. I can go through 4 different views with a camera. And so these acts as capture cards. And then they also, the audio follows the video if you choose it to do that. And so what I would do is have the audio go on to the camera, and I would have to mute this mic, and then that would carry forward onto the camera, and it would be wireless. And then it should work. So
in theory, sounds good.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think it would be great. Now you got to make it. Well, I mean, have you made it work?
Well, we're going to find out. So right now I have an HDMI plugged into my second port. So this way I don't have to reach over and do that on cam. But the idea would be to plug that in, and then I have the sending unit right here. And I'm going to use a Sony battery and just plug it in. It goes right into the side and plug it in, turn it on and see if it mates up. And then I should be able to switch over to my number 2 camera, and that should be like a wireless setup. So
I love the idea of it. And if you get that running, which I think you'll get it running, and I think it'll be pretty cool actually. But I am going to, Brian Paul and I are going to start a t-shirt company because we already have the streaming buddies, but we're going to do the Honey, I Shrunk the Rig, because I really think that needs to be a t-shirt.
Honey, I Shrunk the Rig.
That's awesome.
It could be. Zan says, John, that contraption looks overcomplicated. It's really not. And it's supposed to be super easy to use actually. So all I'm doing is connecting, like when you connect your TV to a DVD player, you use an HDMI cord. And so all this is an HDMI cord into my camera, and then an HDMI cord into the side of the unit. And that's all this is. That's all with these cheaper Sony batteries that connect to it, which will get me about an hour. And then this is the HDMI. I should be able to turn these on and they should mate up. And then from there, I'm just going to go and that looks great, right? Yeah. So from there, it should work. So I don't know. I'll start messing with this as we're talking and see where it takes us. Who knows? But it'll be good to see, because if it works, then that will be pretty cool.
Now, I do want to know, looking at your side view there.
Yeah.
What time is the shuttle launching?
Right.
Tomorrow morning.
Right. So here I have the Caster Pro, and this is just a powered USB, and this is the ATEM, and then my Stream Deck's over to the left. So what I did yesterday, and because the Stream Deck is pretty new to me, and I was trying to like place things in the proper spot because I need the Stream Deck kind of like in my left hand, and I need to be able to control things with the mouse and with the Rodecaster. So I'm getting things like in the right position. So this way everything can kind of run smooth. That's the idea.
I just pull this back a second because I wanna blow their minds with my major stuff. I've got an unplugged Samson Meteor USB mic, and I've got a mini Goal XLR.
But when that's plugged in, that's really good stuff. What?
I'm just like I just look at like your I love your setup. I would kill for it. I'm just saying that I feel so I don't know if unfulfilled is the word.
Listen, what's the name of my channel? It's Coffee Talking Tech, bro. I need to make sure I know how tech is going. So another story, I'm going to work on this. So right here is just an HDMI 1 and 2. 2 is like a loop out, and 1 would just be for just showing what's being displayed through this unit. And so
this may make Zan pass out. This may be just
too much. Really cool. It's really easy. So. And
it's like the Matrix. You plug the thing in, and there's just all this information as zeros and ones, and then Zan passes out for a minute.
And Zan's like, "Oh my god, these guys are crazy."
But it'll be fine because he should come to before dinner.
So here it is. It takes these Sony batteries, and I can get a real big battery that lasts like 3 hours, 4 hours. And this is just going to go and click in just like that. And then I'm going to turn this unit on, and it will have this display screen come up, and then it's going to go to a channel, and it's going to look for a channel. So right now you can see it says no video. It's looking for a channel. And so let's turn on the other unit. And so now that's on, and I'll hit the power button on the camera if I can. There we go. So this is the ZV-1, and we can see this is going to mate. Now, this could take about a minute to connect, but once I get verification on here that this mates to a channel, there it is. So that's channel 8 right now. And then I'm going to make sure it says 8 on this one. Not yet. Now it did. So both of them say 8 now. So that's basically they're mated. I should have a field of view on this right now. So you with me, Jeff?
Yep.
All right. So now I'm going to go to my ATEM Mini, and I should have a picture. But before I do that, let's come back to me.
Cute. I like it.
This is my whole unit right here. Okay. So now what I need to do real quick, though, is I need to go into the software for the ATEM Mini, and I need to set audio up. So I have to go into the switching software, and I'm going to show you what that looks like really quick. And we need to go into the audio. So this is going to be what this looks like as I go over here. Okay. So here's the ATEM Mini software, and we need to go into audio, and this is going to be on camera too. So I need to go into over here and just turn that on. And then this needs to be turned on also, because that's the master. And
that's yours.
Are you hearing double audio yet?
No, we're good.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
Do you hear anything over here?
It sounds like you're farther away.
Okay. So I'm curious to find out now when I switch over, that's when it's going to take effect. So when I hit number 2, let's just see if it goes over and picks up audio. Hi, guys.
Sounds good.
You hear double audio?
I do not.
But we got a picture.
Yeah, we have a picture.
Yeah, that's my wireless setup. So now what I'm weirded out about is why do I not have audio coming in? So now I'm gonna mute my mic right now and see if you can hear me. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to say hello, and you let me know if you hear me right now. Go ahead.
Nope. I do not hear you. I saw your mouth move.
Okay.
I like it
So
this
we
way.
got no audio coming through. So let's try this. Now you got it, don't you?
Yes, I hear you. Nope. I didn't hear you there. No. Nope. Thank God I can see your jaw move. I wouldn't know. Unless you're messing with me. It's like having a mute puppet. No. You're probably asking if I can hear you, but I can't. So it's just me and chat. What do you guys think? B&H tomorrow, noon. John's credit card.
So you can't hear me at all.
No.
That's
sadly,
weird
no.
because I'm switched over and you should have audio on there.
So I agree.
That's weird because now it's on.
I mean, you're I was gonna say 90% there, but I guess audio is half of it. 50%.
Yeah, what it could be is that I didn't have this whole unit plugged in, and so it's not really picking everything up. But if it's picking up the picture, it should be picking up what is needed here. And what happens is that I would have double audio if it was being picked up.
Yeah.
So, and I don't, and these are both on, and you still don't hear double audio. No double audio. That is number 2, right? 1, and this is 2. Yeah. What is this? And the audio is on. All right. Well, listen, maybe the audio is not going to work right now.
Well, I mean, maybe.
I'm going to take a little small walk though and see what happens. And
chat.
You let me know. Yeah. Just take a look at chat and you let me know.
We've been waiting for the day where we can watch you exit the room. So this is
right. So I'll back this up so I'm in full view, and so you can see me just take a little walk.
Could you pirouette around the room as you leave, maybe around the table like a Disney princess character?
I wish the audio worked. I'm so surprised.
Do you think there's a sequencing thing there sometimes? If you go, I got to plug this in first for it to kind of grab or something.
Yeah, it has to be because it should pick it up. And plus, I'm green here. Everything is green. There's nothing.
I feel like something's just not letting go because of a sequencing. But
yeah. So I'm just going to take a quick walk, literally like 30 seconds.
Give us a video tour here. And,
and so if you don't hear me, just keep talking.
No.
Okay. So I'm going to switch over to camera 2. This is it right here. So this is it. I'm picking her up.
Oh, I tell you what, chat, we've been waiting for this for years. Look at this.
Right.
I'm going to narrate Brian.
This is what the room looks like.
Narrate John getting up.
Of course, I'll have this set up so it's a little bit better the next time that I do this. But
yeah, pick up. Could you pick up the room a little bit?
You guys can let me know when I come back how everything is looking. But the idea is going to be for me to kind of like just go take a walk upstairs and be able to have.
Oh, this is funny. This is where marriages are. This is where marriages end here, people. Yeah. This is not a marriage be better program.
But yeah, let's see if anybody in the kitchen.
Check the ISO, bro. I mean, I don't know what's happening, but lighting's king.
No.
Is your key light mobile?
So yeah, but turn the light on.
You got a micro key light.
And this is still me.
Ash hit it.
I wish you guys could hear me.
Oh, we can hear you.
It's so
just because you're so loud. I think we can hear him, right? I just think his sound sucks. So, okay, am I wrong? We can hear him, right? So we just couldn't hear him over maybe the good microphone? I don't know. No, maybe it's just he's loud. John Palm says he looks better in the dark. Odd. I mean, shadows are a great shade on him.
So it's working. That's really cool.
I will say, though, has anybody seen much of a loss in video quality when walking around?
All right, guys, I'm back. So everything looks like it worked visually. And it kind of sucks that the audio didn't work, but it's probably just something really little. And
Brian, do you think it was actually on and just low, or were we hearing it all the way?
Give me a second. I'll put this down.
Because I couldn't. I couldn't tell for a minute there. I thought maybe the audio was just really low on the
I'll
internal,
come back in.
but I never.
Look
I mean, we
pretty
didn't hear
good
any
though,
echo,
right?
but I don't know. Maybe there's Chocolate Twist Yoga in the house. How you doing? Nice to see you. I've got to get myself
Yeah.
into some yoga poses.
So
Older.
the level wasn't low because the only reason you could hear me is you were picking up on my main mic. That's all.
Yeah, we
Because
figured you were just loud.
yeah, if you were picking up on that mic, you would hear me loud and clear because the levels were set. I've had them set,
Okay.
and I've used it numerous times. So the levels were set. I have no idea why this didn't pick up, but I think it had to do with me just using the unit like right now on the fly instead of plugging everything in first
Yes.
and doing.
I think it's a sequencing thing. It'd be interesting to find out. By the way, Chocolate Twist Yoga came in and gave all the people good blessed peace, and I love that. That was some great energy while you were gone. See, some good things do
That's
happen
awesome.
when you don't.
Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate that, Chocolate Twist Yoga. I was actually checking out a few of her videos. She's a really good teacher. And get this,
patient too.
I actually found on her Instagram that one of my friends from high school were taking her classes in California.
It's a small world, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Weird. It's so weird.
So I messaged my friend and I'm like, how do you know, her name is Callie. And I was like, how do you know her? And she's like, oh, I know her because I used to go to her studio. She is awesome. And I'm like, well, she's got a good setup and I know her from streaming. And so I was really impressed. And that was cool. Oh, she's here and she's saying, like Bally. Callie, like Bally.
You should have seen haptic. That was a word earlier that he
right. She loves the red shirt. Now, do you guys know what this is? I know Jeff does. And I'm sure John Pullum should know, and people that are close to our age should know what that is. But if you're like about 40, you're not going to know what that is. So
falls off. Well, so I got to wear a red shirt next time. That's how I'm going to get some love.
Yeah. So I don't know if Callie knows Gail Goldstein is her name, Gail. And she used to be Gail Frashino. And I went to high school with her and her brother. And she is who knows her classes, Chocolate Twist Yoga. And she's like, just says that she's out of this world as far as a yoga teacher. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like her. I like her energy when I look at him. But every time I look at him, I'm like, I can't even bend over and pick up a pencil.
Right. Yeah. Gail Goldstein or Gail Gold. Her last name is Goldstein, I think it is, or Gail. I always forget because if I don't see it right in front of me, I don't know. So let me know if you know her by the name, and that'd be cool to see. So maybe she knows her. We'll see. Word up.
It's funny how I got into our little leader program we did. And there's a person in there who is really good friends with, it's so weird because I saw it on thing, really good friends with a guy who was one of the first sound engineers that we toured with. And it's just so random. I'm like, how, it's just funny how there's such a small, there really isn't that many. There's probably 6 degrees of separation on some level.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
It's incredible sometimes when you go through a couple levels and you realize that someone that knows someone, and you're like,
yeah,
how do you know these people?
That's fun. So, it's cool.
So anyway, that wireless setup, right? It's pretty cool. And
it looked great, man. It didn't waffle around or do anything stupid.
Look how clear that is
through the walls. It came in really nice. I thought.
Yeah. And so if I want to go over like my stuff, and I have it like most people would use it where everything is auto, it's going to just be basically auto ISO. And the only thing I have priority on the shutter speed.
Okay.
And that's it. So it will change with a little bit with the flow of things. And, it's kind of cool because I can show everything and it's not too bad. And it's
the truth of it is that kind of is a micro rig when you add up what you're getting out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a lot to be gained from that. And as you tweak and go through, I mean, right now you're kind of running it on an idiot box mode, which is coming out really good.
Yeah. I'm so impressed on how clear that is. So,
well, this is really cryptic, Pullum. So I'm glad you picked up on it. Sharp man.
So I'm going to shut the unit down. But you know what? That was pretty successful right there.
I'm anxious to find out though what's going on with the sound. I'll put money that something in the sequency with the audio. Sequency. I'm starting to sound like you.
I mean, if I would have had everything plugged in, like what it is, I guarantee you is if I would have had the unit plugged in already, it probably would have worked flawless. But now I'm actually running it. And that's the difficulty sometimes of showing people things live because of, you know, things don't always go smooth.
No, we like Mobile John. That was great.
So John says he knows what's on the shirt. So if you guys know what a record is, if you have a 45 record, this is what you put in the middle of the record because the hole is bigger than a regular album. And this is like the little 45-degree disc, the 45 disc like thing that goes in the middle. And
that we'd lose all the time. And then you get mad and then you'd still try to listen to the record, but eventually it starts to dance.
And they made them yellow on purpose so you could find them, right?
I know. Right?
So I could find those things. But
now they're like, if you made them into a keychain, nobody under 40 would know what they are.
Right. Right.
You know?
So Chocolate Twist Yoga is asking, she says, are you both using the pod mic?
No.
So I currently have 2 pod mics, but this is not the pod mic. This is a condenser mic. This is the Rode NT1. And, but we both are fans of the pod mic and Jeff is using the pod mic right now.
I would display it right here for you.
And I think he sounds pretty good. So
not bad if StreamYard would let up a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, StreamYard is a little tough with audio. I think that's the toughest thing
I think they're really compressing. I don't know what they're doing to audio is a little aggressive, but look, it's also free for the most part, depending on how you use it. So I don't know. Can't complain.
Right. I mean, for the way this whole thing works and how it you know, functions, we're pretty happy with the overall thing that you get out of it.
I think it will really, it'll be amazing to see that contrast when we both run the vMix peer-to-peer, run it at 1080 and just bypass all that. It would really be fun to see. Now, I mean, there's some compression. Well, I don't know. I mean, if we can push up 1080 to YouTube, I don't know how much compression at all would be going on.
Yeah, but don't forget, we can also increase the quality of our sound in vMix.
That's true.
Yeah, we have all those capabilities. So I'm really excited to try that. And it's going to be a work in progress because when we do the first show, you know, it's not going to be the ultra smooth, you know, fashion, the way we can do things. And I think it might be a little bit tough, but I've been practicing. And so I'm hoping that it goes pretty good for us. So.
Yeah. Thank you. By the way, for saying that.
Thank you so much. And I say the same thing about your setup. And over in my corner, I guess what I got the wireless Goes also, and she's got the first set of the Goes. So she uses them, and she sounds great.
Yeah, this is a good question. I got next piece, huh? Because I have a list like everybody that's probably 100 deep, right?
So is there anything out there that anybody is keeping an eye on? So this is a good thing. So put it down in the comments of what is your next thing. To be honest with you, I kind of went crazy this month. So I got those wireless HDMI units. I got the Go wireless 2s, and I got a Stream Deck, and I got the GoPro. I got the GoPro 7 Black with a whole setup also. So right now that's enough for me. And to say the least.
Your wife was in the other room tapping her foot going, I wonder what the answer would be. You know, for me, that's a great question because I've been buying, really building out towards what I need to get, what I need done. Although I kind of went off a little of a drift and started buying more lights. Like I ended up, we have both of the same LEDs, and then I bought the softbox lights, which I really love. And then I bought the GVM 800Ds, the RGB lights. And then I went out and bought a neutral gray, that Savage paper, really wide. Still,
like a backdrop, right?
So yeah, because I'm in the mode of filming and setting up things and trying to make things a little bit smoother in my process. So I just bought a camera Tuesday, Chocolate Twist Yoga,
Yeah.
I bought an A6400 and that's supposed to be here tomorrow. So in a way, I guess, because I just bought that, I'm not thinking past that.
Yeah. And he's just like right now, he can't wait to get his hands on that because the first thing he's going to do is like, take that lens off, put that Sigma 16 on the new one. And he's going to be like,
it's sad. I would, it's true. I would like to have Brian down there put some lens. I would love to have that. Oh yeah, Stream Deck. You know what? That would be a good next piece for me to get.
Yeah,
I think as I get into vMix, I might do that.
So here's the thing, and I kind of know I was going back and forth of whether or not I should take the 15 button Stream Deck back and get a 32 because maybe the thing is I don't think I'm going to need the 32, and I'm not the kind of person that just wants everything on my Stream Deck because I have the Rodecaster right down here and everything audio wise is at my fingertips. So I don't need to have those shortcuts on a Stream Deck like a lot of people do. And Jeffrey's got
not as much as you. I have the mutes and the coughs and the sliders for different things for in and outs.
Right.
And so I didn't have a physical, and I like sliders for seeing where I'm at with sound. I've seen a lot of people that have the 32s go, unless you're really deep into something, or where I've seen it used more are people who use it for things like, well, Photoshop or maybe even DaVinci, where they're using it in tandem with apps where they're like, oh, that's really nice to have for something like that. I don't know.
But that's what I would do with some things. But then the thing is, if you got multiple shows that you're streaming, then I could see someone really needing that, right? Because then you might have, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I just said something that didn't make any sense because you can have 3 profiles. You can have multiple profiles.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have a ton of overlays and they have a ton of.
Yeah. But if you're doing 3 shows, then like say you go to that show, then you just go into that profile and you have those overlays for just that show.
No, I'm with you on that. I have seen some people like that do some gamers too, where they really do run a gambit of a whole ton of different things because of Discord and other inputs that they've got. They're just dealing with a whole lot of things and they can't be bothered. I could see where they would do a 32 because they cannot tab out on anything. So with that minutia of what they've got to deal with, maybe. I don't think I'd spend the money, although I understand why people do.
But then it's the other thing is that, right, you just keep on adding more call to actions all the time. So, as things go on and you just add more, I can see it going. But listen, here's the thing. I don't think I'm going to need it for like 2 years. So if that's the case, I'll give it to my son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't want to, I mean, that's the thing. That's we always get into this. If you're not going to really need it in a year or more, then don't outpace yourself. You can, the prices the way they are with these things and improvements. I don't know. Right. I just feel like how future-proof do you want these things? Because ultimately you're going to pay more than you should have if you're not careful.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you one thing is that you don't really have to worry about too much is that these are resellable at a pretty good price. So here's Lala stopping in, Mommy Guide. And if you've never checked her YouTube channel out, she does some incredible stuff there they were making Father's Day cards.
Cool. Right?
Oh yeah. And everything. And so I was on just the other day with her and they were all talking and I was complimenting them on their cards. Cause what's great is like, they're really early in the morning and well, actually it's really late at night for them and it's early for me. And so I just said, hey, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning or something. And they're on and they just say hi and how's everybody doing? So
that's cute. I love it.
He's laughing because
I think he may be taking a shot right here, right?
I don't think he's taking a shot. I think he may want one. Why wouldn't you?
That's with Brian. You never know.
So
he's a complex enigma wrapped up into some kind of riddle.
So Chocolate Twist Yoga says, so the 8 keys on the Rodecaster on top of the 16 on the Stream Deck. Right. So you got 15 on the Stream Deck. But the thing is, what I kind of explained earlier, when you go to one button on the Stream Deck, say you have that 15, you go to one. Let me just show you quick. So if you go to one button here, okay. So here's my Stream Deck. I just have the vMix set up. I just got this. So I hit vMix, and then I got another 14 buttons in here to use just for vMix. And then this acts as a go back button. So then I push that and it goes back. So then I have other things that I have here. Like you see the zoom, it's not actually zoom. It's actually so you can zoom in on projects and on the screen. And then this here I have for like confetti and my call to actions, a couple, my timer, and a stream song. So there are things, it ends up being more buttons in the long run. Like if you plan things out properly, it's something that would last you for a while, I think. What do you think?
I think it's going to last a long time. Yeah, you can go into sub layers, which is the big deal. And so you can build out. And like I said, some people, what I like about Stream Deck is it can be whatever you want it to be. It's very flexible. I think some people get confused too, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Stream Deck is really just one screen, but they cut it up with the plastic overlay. So
Right.
Some people think it's individual buttons, but it's really not. But what the advantage of that is that they can make basically infinite layers. I don't know if they have a max layer of a hierarchy in there or not.
Well,
I mean, there's limits to what you want to do.
go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying there's limits to how far down you'd want to drill. But imagine this. Imagine you have 15 buttons that all are access to all those different layers. So, Photoshop, I hit this button, I get into my Photoshop profile. I go here, DaVinci profile, here my streaming live profile, here my record, you know what I mean? So
Right.
you could have a ton of layered profiles one step deep. So so the first layer becomes more of a portal, I guess is what I'm saying, to other layers.
Yeah. And so Jeffrey's absolutely right. Like you don't want to go 2 layers deep to find stuff, and then you got to go backwards to get to your main stuff. So that becomes kind of overwhelming. So that's where the fact of having the 32 button kind of does make sense, because then you have 31 buttons on one app, and you don't have to go a second layer deep. So it does make sense. And you'll
fill. I mean, I really do. I mean, the truth of it is, I've seen people fill up that 32 pretty easily that do.
Yeah.
Stream.
And you can, and I probably will, but I know that I'm not going to get the small one. I don't know who would ever get that small one. So
that's always a regret purchase, unless you know for a fact you don't need any more than that. Most people are like, I should have got the 15 at least. So.
Yeah. So I'm pretty psyched in general with that, and that's gonna keep me going for a while. So I can't really complain.
No, you'll be set. I think that's going to be great. And plus, you do have some advantage, because like you do have some tactile functions already with the Rodecaster Pro.
Yes.
Sound and things like that. So.
I would love to add a slider to my production. Tom Buck did a review. Yeah, he did a review today, I believe, on a slider that to me is a little costly. I don't know if I would use that slider for that price. There are other ones out there that I've been eyeing up that are cheaper and that I think are really effective, but I don't know if they're that long of a slider. So a slider is definitely something that will help keep people engaged when you're doing a stream. So if I was off to the side or doing a video or a stream, and that slider is constantly moving, then that illusion effect of movement is very effective. So
yep.
So who's this? Hi, I came again for the stream
last week.
Thank you.
Yep.
DR, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
I always love when people stop in and say hi. And
I wonder if DR likes to travel. I saw that plane last time.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you own the plane, we need to be friends. But if you just like to travel, that's cool too.
Right. So if you're throwing people into the jet and you need to take us somewhere, that's a plus. We're always down for that.
Always.
So
you can do that.
So what do we got here? She's saying that's the one thing about having kids. Get the most out of it now. If you outgrow it, you can give it, or the kids can resell. I have a son and daughter. My Yetis is after the Shure MV7. And I think that's the one that has the USB in the back also, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the dual, which is a good setup. I could see it sounds pretty decent. It does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because my son actually has a YouTube channel, and it's his name is Matt's Mission. So if anyone has any kids that like to play Roblox games, he's 10 years old. He's got like about 137 or 8 subscribers, and he loves it. And now that summer's out, he's going to be doing some more videos. But it's a good thing, because learning how to video edit and to do the camera himself and slowly gain that kind of knowledge, I think, is awesome for them.
It's a language, so if you can do it younger, it's awesome.
Right. And he's 10, right? So that's the fact. I've used sliders in the past, but they never work as well as they should. Yeah, and the technology is a lot better, right? So even if you go back like 10 years, a lot of people were not buying those motorized sliders because they were just so expensive. And so literally they were getting, I mean, people used to make sliders out of PVC. So it's like they used to piece it together, make their own slider, and drag those things across to have an illusion effect. But they want the motorized ones because they're going to be using them for, they're even using them for streams. So
yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So I mean, I think there's a lot of things that I was looking at sliders, and I think I have like a limit on that, and I'm not ready for that yet. So
it's not your path right now. It's okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like what she's saying here, right?
You wouldn't know anything about that, sir.
She's got some Elgato Wave 3 sitting on the shelf, I think, right?
I should buy that from her and see if I can get it working. I wouldn't mind a condenser type mic, huh?
Maybe you could.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's maybe it's just some of those things that
I am thinking that the Rode NT1 might be an interesting mic for me to try here.
It's a good mic. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Tom Buck just got one of these actually too. And yeah, if you haven't ever checked out Tom Buck, when I started my YouTube channel, that's when I found him, because he was an AEV teacher. So he basically taught all this stuff in high school, I believe. And he actually now is a full-time YouTuber, just hit 70,000 subscribers. When I started watching him last year at some point, I think he had like 16,000 subscribers. The way he teaches and talks and the way he goes through these things, and he makes some of these complex things really simple. And he's using things that are, all the things I wanted, obviously. So when I had to go find something out about the Rodecaster, he was one of the first people that had information about the Rodecaster. Or I like the pod mic. He had a lot of videos on the pod mics. We have a very similar taste in what we both like. He has an A10 Mini. I think the A10 Mini is outstanding. So,
yeah.
And I
think that is true.
India. I have 6% of the people watching my videos are from India.
You're connecting. I like it.
I'm connecting with them, and I'm connecting with a few percent in the UK and a few percent in Canada too. So
what about prison? Do you have any people?
I have 97% of my viewers are watching,
serving hard time,
are from prison, right? So that's the idea. Yeah, I know. Mine's even further away, John. Don't worry. So I'm kind of excited. If I do get a sub on stream, it's kind of funny is I have this little guy that dances on the side of me that should pop up that I put up there. It's not like the most prettiest looking thing, but I think it's kind of funny. And then eventually I want to do a little video of me doing a little dance as I get a sub. So
that, sir, is entertainment.
That's the hope.
It reminds me you dancing remind me of that. You remember that? You probably don't remember. You remember Ally McBeal and the little baby animation that dancing?
You're 2 years old. You're a year and a half older than me.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Ally McBeal, I watched it all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was a good show, right?
It was a good show. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. It was now that I haven't talked about it since it's been off the air. That was like the first time I think I've heard it.
That's a lot. Yeah, I haven't even thought about it, but I was thinking about that dancing baby. I remember that was such a big deal. The technology at the time was such
yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? The dancing baby. It was kind of a weird stretch there where that thing was showing up. Right. And it was very strange, and people were blown away because of the tech involved at the time,
right,
to make that animation work. It's kind of interesting.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Here's Patrick strolling in. How you doing, Patrick? Nice to see you. Everyday tech in the house. and he does videos on all kinds of tech stuff too. And he's just hit over the 300th mark. I think he's like 310,
Congrats,
315
man.
subs. So
Awesome.
he's
Yeah.
keeping on going.
Chugging
So,
along.
look at Brian. He's like, or I can just unsub and subscribe again.
Do
You
it.
could do that.
Do it. Let's see it. Somebody
That'll
make
probably
this,
work,
somebody
right?
make this guy dance. I want to see it. I could do
Yeah,
it too.
I'm curious if it'll pop up. It should fire off. That's for sure.
Subscribe and
It
see.
should fire off right
everything will
over.
blow up if I do it.
It should fire off right over my right shoulder. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Somebody do it. Somebody. I don't have any more.
Well, it will happen sooner or later. That's for sure.
I know, but now I want to see this little dancing thing happen.
So Chocolate Twist Yoga, Callie, is saying, Tom Buck is the reason I got into this. I was looking for a solution for my kid's teacher during the pandemic, and I fell in love with his teaching style. Right, because he is a teacher, and it shows in the way he does things. And I just I don't know. When I watch his videos, I connected with him very easily too, because he's got these sarcastic dad jokes.
What I like is he doesn't try to talk at you or over you. He really communicates, and I think people feel that. Some people talk and you feel like they're kind of talking around you, somebody else, in the manner, and you always feel like he's talking to you. And that's not an easy thing to do, but I do think that probably is from years of teaching kids. I think that really makes a difference. Connect.
Yeah. I mean,
although a lot of teachers didn't do a really good job of that either. So I don't know. I had a lot of teachers who were very disconnected from teaching.
Well,
I don't know.
To tell you the truth, while we're on stream, it looks like I had somebody try subscribe to me.
John tried it, he said, but it didn't work, which is interesting. So maybe they didn't reward
what I have noticed, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, the last 2 days, I have literally had like 5 or 6 people subscribe to me, and the numbers have not increased. I've lost 2 people, and then 2 people came back today. And I know that happens, but it's just a big swing in the last 2 days, actually. So
I just come to understand that I will never understand how YouTube connect people together. Oh, geez. What is this?
Do you hear it?
I hear it. Is this part of the dancing celebration?
Yeah, and it didn't fire off above me. Huh.
So let's just summarize so far. No voice on the micro rig that we carried around. We don't have a dancing dude on subscribe. I'm just going through some failures. It's okay.
Oh, do you think I don't have it fired right up in? Wait.
I mean the sound.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, something's not right in my vMix because Chocolate Twist Yoga just resubscribed, and Brian Paul. So that's why it's going off like that. And
now you guys are just annoying me. Do you know how loud that is? Oh. That's pretty funny, actually.
So
that would have been fun to see.
It's showing up in my OBS
if you dance like that, if you dance like that in an animation, I am going to just roll. I'm going to roll.
It's showing up in my OBS studio, but it's not showing up in my.
Bummer.
Yeah,
it's a bummer.
Yeah, so that's something I got to work on. So we'll
test it. We'll late at night. We'll test it out.
Yeah. So here's Mr. Doma stopping in and saying hi. He always makes a point to come in and talk to us and drop some friendly highs and check us out, and I really appreciate that.
That was nice of him.
And John sees the animation in his head. So,
well, I can only imagine the animations that John sees constantly. If you've seen his studio room behind him and the things that exist in that room, I couldn't survive down there alone. It just would freak me out to no end.
Dude, I am psyched here. Look at this. Look who stopped in.
Flash in your pan.
Flash in the pan. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi.
I like that.
Yeah.
Flash
so
I dig that.
He's really cool. If you never checked it out, he's always selling different stuff, a lot like gold, and he got different things that they find and they clean up. They might not even know what it is. And then they're people are saying, if you know what this is, let us know. And so they auction off all this kind of cool stuff.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. He's probably right. Assuming it's he, but
yeah, it is.
Another purge wouldn't shock me at all.
I always remember his name, and then all of a sudden, right now, I can't remember his name because that's
Drop your
just,
name, Flash. Come on.
that's part of my whole thing. I hit the ground way too hard on a couple motorcycle accidents. So please forgive me on that. But he's saying that YouTube is having another purge. And I kind of see that. Like there is a lot of weird stuff.
I'm wondering if they're cleaning up some of the stuff from over the year of COVID. I mean, that hadn't gotten away from them, you know.
I also just had somebody else also leave a comment on one of my videos, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
It's just bizarre. It's
like disappeared.
I'm going to do that to you. I'm just going to start randomly like posting comments on your videos, and the next day just make you nuts and delete them. I'll have to get a random account though. You
got the Bald Gamer, CJ. What's going on? How you doing? He's been busy. CJ. He had a couple of videos come out this past week, and we always touch base in Instagram because a few of these younger people, you know, they're always on Insta, like Ash and stuff. And there it is. It's Ed. I should have known that, but yeah. So we always say hi to each other over there. But
nice to meet you, Ed.
I apologize because sometimes that's like my downfall. I can't remember really quick off the bat sometimes. And so that's Ed over here. Yeah. Ed was on StreamYard just last week, and they were analyzing his channel, and they were giving him some good tips. And they were also saying a lot of great things about his channel. So that was kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. He does a great job. So, yep, John remembers his name. And the thing is, I remember it all the time. Like as soon as I was on your stream, I didn't even have to think about it. And then all of a sudden now it's like, when
you know what I do in that case, Ed, I would unsubscribe if you've subscribed to me. I would go and unsubscribe. I would never forget your name. If you subscribe to me, Ed, I will never forget your name.
I forget my own name. Do you know what I forgot today?
What's that?
Today I forgot my code to my garage.
That is not fun.
Yeah, but
it's happened to me.
I'm the one that made it up.
So what?
Yeah,
it's but like you can't forget things in the middle of something.
Yeah, but it's something I can't forget, and it's the same code that I have for other things. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, "What is the code?" She was getting in the car, and I'm like, "I just had a brain fart, and I just can't remember." Sometimes I just like lose my head. So here's
anybody else. I'm disjointed. You need to shrink. I look like a little child sitting next to you now. What happened? We were equal before, and no, not that. I'm talking about like next to you when you put like. I feel like
I need to drop down a little.
Yeah,
just like that. That's perfect.
I mean, I could sit up a little, but I was comfortable.
Listen, I have very good posture. So listen to this. I got to tell you, I got to lower this now. See, you changed my whole thing.
I'm here to mess with you, man. That's all.
Right.
That's the
Tell him, John, right? Get in my belly. So listen, here's the thing, right? So I recently had one of these moms, my son's moms, they came to me and they asked me, their son wants to build out a gaming rig, or not build it out, but like find one. What's the good specs? Kind of lead me in the right direction. And I had a discussion with her, and I was just saying basically that the prices on video cards are about 150 to 200% up. Did you hear that little noise?
Yep.
I got a feeling that's my sub thing, and it's not open and it's firing off.
Yeah, it may be
yeah.
FUBAR.
Yep. So I'll check into that. So that is something that is not worthwhile right now, buying something like that, a rig. I mean, the costs are really expensive. So I went out and just looked at a bunch of stuff, and I can't believe what they're getting for some of these video cards. Like,
I would have been interesting. I mean, it would have been interesting to know what type of games he's really playing, because you can get away almost still with a 1060 Ti or something. You don't even, you know what I mean? Like, people are overspending on some of these graphic cards.
Oh yeah.
You don't need a new generation card for most of these games.
No. And that's what we expressed though. But the thing is, I don't want her to get first of all, they're not going to make a 1060 for a new computer. So the least you're going to,
yeah, well, true.
Yeah. So the least you're going to get is a 1650,
you right? Build out. So I thought she was building something.
Well, that's why I said build out initially, but she wants to just buy one. Like, but she just kind of wants me to have like the lowest specs that are acceptable.
Okay.
Because the prices are expensive. So
it's disappointing.
Yeah. So I hooked her up with a couple things, and we're talking like a Ryzen 5 3600, which is an absolutely great CPU. And then we were talking about just adding like either a 1660 Super or a 1650 video card, which is, you know,
60.
yeah, it's going to play most games on high settings. So I think that will be very adequate for somebody, especially that are 10 years
When
old.
you were pricing around, I mean, what did you happen to see what like the 2060s were going for at all?
Yeah. Dude, I have a 2060 right now, and they're going for $600 to $700.
Shut up.
I can't believe it.
Good God.
I picked mine up for $315. I picked up my Ryzen chip, my CPU, a year ago for $150. That same chip is going for $200 right now, and it's a year old.
That's nuts.
So,
okay. Well,
so those are things. 2 bald Johns and 1 bald CJ. What does that make?
No,
That makes
laughable. That's a joke.
Yeah, well, a lot of skin and no hair. That's what it makes up, pretty much.
It would make a great
bald man. This is true, CJ. There's
let's just calm down.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's why you need 32 buttons for all your little sound effects.
I do. I need them all.
Every one of them.
But Brian says orangutans are up 400%. So he's getting a lot of views still.
You know what that is? That's orangutan inflation.
Right. So listen, if there is oh God. Now you're turning into me and Tom Buck.
Oh yeah, but orangutan inflation, people. There's just too much supply.
I can't believe. I think Tom Buck is like he might be like 16 to 20 years younger than me.
Wouldn't it be funny? Not funny, but what if we find out someday he's the kind of guy that like passes a bucket of lotion down to people in the basement or something?
Tom Buck? No, he's married.
He's a serial guy, like he's Ed Gein or something.
No, he's good, dude. Tom Buck is awesome. He's like one of my favorite YouTubers, to be honest with you.
I love Tom Buck. I'm not arguing about it. I'm just saying, what if we found something like, what if we found that out someday? How
don't ever talk bad about Tom Buck on my stream.
I didn't talk bad about him. I said, what if it was hypothetical?
Tom, if you're watching again,
unsubscribe, Tom.
Lying. He probably never watched my stream.
I bet he has. I bet he sits here and does replay on you.
No, he doesn't.
He's the one who left that comment and then he took it away because he's like, I'm gonna keep
So if anybody wants to know the name of that wireless setup that I was using earlier, that is the Mars 300 Pro Hollyland. It's Hollyland is the company. Mars.
Now is that set up?
Pro.
What is that? 200 and some? What does that run right now?
That runs. Can I whisper it?
Oh, sorry, man. You private chat it to me and I'll lie.
I think that runs.
Sorry. That was. What time does she go to bed?
I think it's $465.
But I remember though you told me you had like a 50% off coupon, so I thought that
I had a 75% off coupon at McDonald's, and that basically paid for that.
Oh God, I should have not done that.
Yeah. Look at that.
See, you guys are out of your minds. I didn't put him down. It was a hypothetical. I didn't say Tom's a hack who should never talk about, interfaces. I said, what if this wonderful dude we find out someday is, Silence of the Lamb guy. That's all. That's all I was saying.
No, they were calling him on his stream today, which he has a stream with his wife at 4:00 on Thursdays. And I've been watching it since the start. And today he had like 30 people watching. And I've seen a lot of people come in there, and I try to watch it a lot. And they were calling him the modern day Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like that.
It's hard. He's just hard to not like.
He's hard.
You have to be a real jerk to bust Tom Buck's chops. Like, what kind of soulless, loser are you that you would actually try to disparage Tom Buck? Because it doesn't seem like a guy that is looking for any kind of.
Thanks, John. I think that was about the price, to be honest with you.
Well, it was a prime holiday Black Monday price you got, I'm sure.
It would be awesome if Tom Buck was the Blue Yeti from before.
Would be funny.
It's
Yeah.
Tom Buck showing up on my stream under like Blue Yeti name because we have
Yeah.
this guy and we pretty much know who that is, but they
Yeah.
come in on a stream and start making.
Yeah, you know, Tom walks in. He's like, "I love the Blue Yeti. I'm not having this." And he goes
Right.
and
You guys
fires up
put
the
down the Blue Yeti all the time. I'm not having that.
Got this idiot guy sitting here from New Jersey talking about Blue Yetis are crap.
So if there's anyone out there watching, because right now we presently have about 11 people to 12 people watching. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to come in and ask a question. We're all about not knowing everything, you know? So
I just
it's
had
like,
this vision of your wife starting to drop in going, well, wait a minute. What did this cost? Well, what did this go? All online, live, and we have this uncomfortable.
no,
like,
she knows. She knows.
I know she does, but it's fun to talk about. Don't kill my vibe.
Yeah. She asked me, and then I give her a number. And if it's like not a number that she thought it would be, she's like, no, really, what is the number? And then so I go back and forth with it. And then she's like, oh, okay.
Okay. But she's not going to remember. She's not going to forget one thing. I'm going to tell you right now. She's going to remember everything.
No. It all comes back to like, it all comes back to vacation money. Well, that's our vacation money. So,
Well, maybe it is.
well, no, it's not, but
You put all that money into the Blue Yeti. Now we can't go to Six Flags.
right. That's all I want to go is the Six Flags, but
Really?
no.
Okay. I can't see what-
We want to do a nice trip next year, I think, like St. Thomas or
Oh,
maybe
that's a nice trip.
Ireland or something like,
That'd be cool. Yeah.
yeah, something big on the agenda. We need to do something that is going to be like metaphoric. It's, oh my God. So we know who's out there and they're in the background and they're coming in. Did you just hear us talk about you? It's been a while.
That could have been an
That's
accident.
different.
You know, he's got like an algorithm and he's
You
here's Blue
guys
Yeti and he comes firing in.
Yeah. You were watching us and you were all quiet in the background. As soon as the word Blue Yeti came out, like you jump in here. So
He's
guys,
got I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you haven't checked out this gentleman's channel, this is Mint Green Creative. He does all kinds of mic reviews and he's got a hell of a sense of humor. And I love watching him because he's so freaking funny, to tell you the God's honest truth. So I always look forward to seeing
I feel like that photo represents his like,
yeah.
I heard you talking about
Yeah.
that Blue Yeti.
So it's him and Camera Conspiracies makes me laugh. I laugh so hard at these two guys. So
which means he squeals. I love that squeal laugh you got going on.
So right over here, I want to go back to Patrick, and he said, "Did you guys get anything from Amazon?" We were actually talking about this the other night on Tuesday, and we did get a couple things. Did you get anything yourself?
I didn't get anything. I did get something on Tuesday, but it wasn't from Amazon. I got a A6400. I didn't buy, so I put all my money to a new camera, and of course, Amazon didn't have a sale for that day. But no, I didn't buy anything. Brian bought quite a bit of stuff. I know you did.
Yeah, Brian I got a light, a phone holder, and an overhead arm. And so he was using those things. I did see him working on that tonight. Yep. And so that was really ironic. He says, no, I didn't. I just stopped by. And literally, I'm not even kidding you.
Just mentioned it.
Yeah. 30 seconds before we were saying
that's
that.
That's actually a little spooky. So this gentleman may actually have some superpower in the MCU universe that we need to be aware of.
Right. He's paranormal. Abnormal. Power abnormal.
He's abnormal.
He's 6 foot tall, by the way. I just want to tell you that.
Well, that is a spec I needed to know.
Yeah.
What's his weight?
He runs about 205.
What's his last 4 digits in his cat's name?
I don't know that. I don't think he has a cat.
How are we supposed to get his ATM?
Probably does have a cat. He's got to get back to work. I just want to say hi. Thanks for the
comment. Just say hi, man.
Thanks you. Thanks, Mint Green. If you haven't checked out some of his videos, I always look forward to some good stuff that he has.
You're supposed to do the Mint Green, everybody, then do the applause. Like that's how you would do it. Like Mint Green, everybody, and then hit your applause button.
I don't have the applause. I got to put that back.
What? I thought I
Yeah.
heard people scream. Oh, that was the guy dancing.
That was the guy dancing. I don't know why that's not firing off. That's a whole nother.
See the frustration in you. You can just
That
totally
drives
tell
me
you're not.
nuts.
When this stream ends, he's gonna me start trashing.
That's going to be like the first thing I'm going to do is like figure
I know,
out why
for
that's not firing off, because that's from Stream Elements. So that goes right through. And
I
it
like
should-
Brian's. I like Brian's. I think Brian's got it right. So we're just gonna slow clap Mint Green out.
maybe I deleted it in here by accident because I was cleaning. Here it is.
John looks like that orangutan in that video that was just like, is that a banana? What is that? Is that a rock? What is
Oh,
that? Is that banana?
now
or
I
rock?
know why it wasn't firing. I fixed it.
It's a banana. Can you see? It's a
Did you
banana.
hear me?
You fixed it.
Yeah, I should fire off now. So if I get a sub, because I didn't have a layer picked, so it
Oh,
wasn't
you
firing
didn't-
off.
So it wasn't visible.
Yeah, exactly. So now
So this was what we call a user error.
it was. And listen, this is a lot of stuff to keep track of. And now I just
Yeah.
adjust the audio too. So this way it's not screaming.
I love Thursdays because I can just sit here and read chat and be obnoxious while you're over there doing all this.
Obnoxious.
You're
I'm
like-
the obnoxious one.
You are, but you're doing all this stuff like the wizard and everything, and I'm just sitting here like being mouthy.
Oh God. You just said I was the obnoxious one.
Well, you said I'm the obnoxious one, and obnoxious one. I said, well, yeah, you're right. You probably are the obnoxious one. I think we're both obnoxious, and we're fine. We just
You're
have different.
quiet obnoxious. I'm
Yeah,
the
I
one
am.
that's just
That's
obnoxious.
almost worse though, right? Because at least you own it, like and I'm that guy who's like, I'm not
No,
obnoxious, but
I don't
really I
really
am.
think I'm obnoxious. I just tell it like it is. Like people think they're gonna say something and they're just gonna
You're
like,
getting fired up.
yeah, you're not gonna make a comment and I'm gonna tell you the truth. So that's it.
I will
Mhm.
say, in the time I've known you, which it's 4 or 5 years now, I would say in all those years I've known you, I would say you are just direct. That's who you are.
Yeah, because
You don't pull punches.
I can't stand when people have misinformation, and misinformation flies all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's just like a simple thing. Like when people talk about, hey, when people said, hey, Canon cameras aren't good for streaming. Why not? You tell me. And then when they ask me like, what, you tell me the difference between an A6300 and an A6400, I could easily tell you that.
Yeah.
Easily.
I got
But
posed that
I'm not here to
question.
teach
Someone
you
told me what I should. Someone told me, basically justify your position of why you would take a 6400 over 6300. Now, I asked John that. I said, well, I think my position on that should be proved that I shouldn't, because there are a lot of reasons why
Right.
you would do that, given the price difference. Especially,
No
why
brainer.
the hell would you take a 6300 over 6400? There's no good reason to even ask that question.
But we didn't want to get into that conversation anyway.
No,
Listen,
but
if
now it
someone
fires
comes
me
in
up.
here and they legitimately want to know, I'll
Yeah,
tell
that's
them,
different.
but
Oh man, last night of vacation. Are you kidding me? Driving back
Yeah.
to Philly tomorrow.
Yep.
So
enjoying my
guess-
last night of vacation, driving back to Philly tomorrow. I highly recommend this Airbnb beach house in New London, Connecticut. Oh, nice.
What if he had told us all about that place about 3 days ago? We could have been there tonight doing this.
We could have all met up.
Yep.
Yeah. No, he's
Patrick, it's great to see you. Really have a safe trip.
yeah. And
Tomorrow.
you're going to pass like literally a mile away from my work, but don't stop in or nothing. It's all right.
No, God, you're
People say-
such a. That is so passive.
all right.
Oh my god.
You'll be right on probably the turnpike.
My god.
Don't stop in.
Poor Danielle.
Newark
I can't
is-
imagine you pulling that.
I don't
stuff.
want people stopping in Newark, New Jersey. You might not feel safe there. I feel safe, but
You're also 8'2" and 450 pounds.
stop. Telling you, dude, it's no joke there. Since in this last year I've been there, I've seen like right outside one side of the door, homeless guy got stabbed. He
It's
died.
gotten nuts. It's
Last-
gotten nuts.
Last week on Friday, they fired 4 shots in the station, blew out the windows on the bus lane side. Someone, I went over there and I'm like, why are these windows all blown out? Oh, because someone was firing shots.
People
I'm
lost
like,
their
oh
minds,
my
man.
God.
Just like us. Just like
Yeah,
us.
you got to be careful. But I don't, the thing is, a lot of people get into trouble because they're, dealing with things that they shouldn't be. So I'm just there minding my own business,
Gotta say business. You're minding your
business.
business.
That's it.
It was nice of Patrick to stop in, though.
Yeah, he always does. He takes care of us. He
Nice
comes and he
guy.
says hi. But I don't know. I'm kind of psyched. I think tomorrow, my goal is going to be try to set up this vlogging rig and maybe get some footage in here for next week. You know, and plus my goal is I got to do a video. I know what I want to do for a video. So
I'm sure you do. You bought all that new stuff so you can make a video.
you know what's hilarious?
No.
My you know that video I made with using StreamYard to bring your comments into your OBS?
Yeah. Which was really cool.
All of a sudden, out of the blue, that sucker is taken off this
You
week.
should.
Yeah,
It's a cool little get.
I think in two weeks or so, it's gotten like almost 400 views.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's like just came out of nowhere, you know, because like sometimes
Wizard of Pause. What does that mean? He must have been talking about you being a goober.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
At least he accepts me. Some people don't.
I like.
You don't accept me. I don't know why.
You don't accept. I accept your gooberness.
No, you
Accept
don't.
mine. I do. I embrace it, Stream Buddy.
You probably get off of here and you talk to your wife and you're like, he's so abrasive with these people.
No, my wife would be
You're
like,
laughing
why
because
why are you such an ass to that gentleman? That guy is his wife is so lucky to have him, and I have you. That's what she says.
No, she does not.
She does. Yeah.
No, she does not.
She does.
No, that's not true.
She does.
That's a
She
lie.
leaves a note on the counter. She goes to bed.
So we're getting hearts from Mr. Doma. So really, is it not like a Mr. Doma? It's a Mrs. Doma?
It says Mr. Doma.
I'm just
a man
kidding.
can send hearts to a man. What is wrong with you? Every day when I talk to you,
I'm not
I end with that
sensitive.
heart emoji, and I'm like, oh, bro, nice to see you.
Yeah, I delete that part.
I know you do, but you shouldn't.
Just get that off my phone. What are you
Little part of
doing?
me dies every time.
That's a nice cup, bro. CT and T. That's a nice cup. I really like that.
You like how that looks blown up?
It looks great.
This is how bad my situation is. I don't have a brand. I am basically your brand now.
Yeah, but when you get one, I'm buying one. So don't worry. So I want to know why we're getting hearts. If we're getting hearts because we tell it like it is, then I love that. Because that's what my whole goal is.
I'm all about hearts. You know why? Because you can't argue with hearts. All right. That's like arguing that Tom Buck isn't a saint. He is an American treasure.
Icon.
Oh, treasure's better.
Same thing.
I think. It's not the same thing.
See, John cares. I don't mind this from John.
Oh, he put an exclamation heart at the end of that thing.
Yeah, but he means it.
That looks like a Studio 54 party, though, kind of.
God, you don't want to know what that party looks like. It's X-rated.
Late night Studio 54 with the bald men in the house. That's going to get slippery.
Yeah. Studio 54. What did that turn into? Did that turn into the Ritz or did that turn into I was one or the other, I forget.
I don't know what it turned into, but it probably needed to be burned down.
Oh my God. Not kidding. So we never finished this discussion about the computer thing, but what was
the net result?
Yeah, I built 3. So the net result was when I gave her some numbers and I said that these computers are really like about a 40% cost higher than they were. So, I don't know what to do. It's kind of like a tough situation. And plus, like a lot of times I don't mind like even building out a computer for somebody. But the thing is, I don't want to be anybody's tech support for the long run. You know what I mean? Like it's like because I can build a computer, like if you're a gamer and you want a computer built out, I could do that. But I just don't want to be tech support for your Windows, So that's your problem because, that kind of stuff. I don't maintain your Windows, so I don't know what damage you're doing to it.
You're gonna check into Windows 11.
I'm gonna stay away from that as long as I can.
Yeah, I'm not gonna upset the apple cart yet.
Right. Yeah. So
nice. I have no problem with 10. So.
Is Brian Paul still here?
I don't know. He LL'd at something, and then I think he, I don't know. He had to go like bathe his dog or something.
No, I'm curious if he is because
What do you want to know?
I'm gonna say try to unsubscribe and subscribe back again. See if I can fire it off. I could fire. You know what? I could probably fire it off in.
It's kind of funny that you can't manually just fire it off, though. Yeah, for testing purposes. But
I can, but I have to go into Stream Elements to do that. But what I could do,
What people didn't realize, this is a 2-hour show where we test out John's little dancing man.
yeah, but this is good stuff for people too, though.
It is. I'm just messing with you, man.
No. I'm just saying, like, as far as like the wireless rig and stuff like that. Oh, John did it 26 minutes ago. So maybe he did try it. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Oh my God. That worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, that's fine, but I need you in front of a green screen doing that. Okay. So we can just have you doing that.
Oh, another subscriber.
I hope that. I know damn well people are just unsubscribing and subscribing now. This would get annoying really fast, I think.
That works good. And then
Very happy for you, John.
whoa. That's awesome. That's going to happen someday where I'm just going to have multiple people like subscribing on the streams.
No, I'll just make you mute that at that point. That's going to be annoying.
Well, yeah, I want the day that I have to mute.
You can turn it down and make it smaller and put it up somewhere.
Yeah, I'll make it better. Listen, it is going to become bothersome at some point, but if it does become bothersome, that's the day I'm like really happy.
Right. No, I get you, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll be psyched if that's the case.
I'll be very happy if we can annoy everybody with the dancing man.
It's not annoying. It's kind of cool.
Maybe you could like get into a toga and get in front of like a green screen and do that dance that dude just did right there.
Well, I'm not going to get in the.
You could do, or you could do the flossing one.
The flossing.
The floss dance.
I should floss my teeth on camera. That'd be interesting, right?
Nope. No, would not be interesting.
That's not interesting.
No, it's not.
So the wireless setup was pretty cool.
Yeah, that worked out really. I thought it worked out really well.
I think it worked out really. The thing that gets me is the picture is so good. I am really happy with that. And to be frank with you, I did set that up prior one day last week, and the audio worked perfect. So I'm kind of like stumped. I think it has to do with me hooking it up while it's all running.
Now, have you done a distance test just from your pod there to see how far you can go before it breaks?
So the whole house works fine.
Okay.
And I've made it out to the front sidewalk and to the end of my house. And then I started losing it. Now that was just sitting down here. So if I had this up higher, it could be different. I could have it on a different channel. It could be different. Now, if I was really needing this, like in the yard and stuff like that, I could put this out the window, right? And put it on a tripod. At that point, I'll get 400 feet at least.
Well, that's a lot of feet.
That's a lot. The one wall really does a lot of damage. So, that's the thing. So, but the thing is, it's really cool, I think. So look at this. He's got a cue. What is this? Brian's like really professional. Anyone have any experience with wireless audio monitoring for live streams? No, because what I end up doing is plugging into the unit on the camera, and then I check it myself, and then I just roll with it. So as long as it sounds pretty decent right there, right? Because the only way
you're to do it, though, I just trying to.
Because the only way you're going to really worry about anything is when you lose the connection. But if you're right there and you just turn around and you're plugged in and I talk a little bit, that's pretty. I didn't have any problems with that. It actually came out decent.
Okay.
I mean, I've done it once, but because even my cheaper ones had headphones that I could plug in and then I could check right then and there. So, but I haven't done it on the Rode Wireless Go 2 yet. So I'm going to have to do that. And I will though soon. And
everything's going to go, wireless is great. It's just touchy though. It's one of those things, but it's getting so much better.
Yeah.
That it's becoming a bit more comfortable, I think.
Well, the thing is though, people have had great success with the first wireless as far as connectivity. It was really extraordinary. Now the distance that you get with the 2 It is like unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a major distance, dude.
What I I think it's in the realm of like 400 or 500 feet. And so that's like incredible. And so I don't ever see myself leaving like 100 feet. So at that point, it will be really effective. And so no one's really had too many problems with connectivity with that, which, you know, like you said, with 2.4 gigahertz, things, you have a lot of interference, right? Because you walk down the street. So
But
if
you
you're
get
in
more
the
distance, so
right.
that's the trick.
So if you're in a park and stuff like that, you'll get some incredible distance. But if you're on a street like me, residential, with everybody's wireless, you could get interference. But I'm curious to see how that rolls out. So when people do a test and they're in a field, they're not going to have that same effect if you're in the middle of New York City, or even if you have your cell phone, like say you have that Rode Wireless Go right here in a pocket and your cell phone is in a jacket, like right in the same pocket on the outside, that's going to affect it. So you got to make sure things like that aren't in the way. So, but
I like the idea of it. I'm not in a mode where, my initial stuff to be mobile. I think you're at that perfect evolution and where you have been and what you want to do and talk about. I do think you really get into this remote stuff with what you're going. And I think this is perfect timing for you to get into. I think at some point I would really love that, to be able to cut the anchor a little bit. I think that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I want to do. And when I made that, when I did make that M50 video and I used the cheaper wireless setup that I did a video on that no one watched, it basically was very effective. And I had it for my wife and I had it for me. And it was a wireless unit that worked really well. And the thing is that it's not going to be what the Rode Wireless Go is, because Brian will tell you, and if you watch any reviews, I mean, the fact is even if you lose connectivity with that thing, it still acts as a recorder. And you don't, like, if I was outside and had the cheap unit and all of a sudden I lost connectivity, I'm going to lose that and it's going to have to be shot over. With that, it's captured with the Wireless Go. It's recorded in there, even if I lose connectivity into the unit. And so that is a lifesaver for content creators. So that's like a no-brainer right there.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And then that's just like one of the things you can do. You can do multiple things too with it. And plus the added of 2 people is huge. And so
that's actually, I mean, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. I mean, that's a major deal. So that's like a roving podcaster potential setup.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a big difference because then you can have 2 people having a discussion, a debate back and forth, or playing. Who's that?
I have no idea. How would I know who that was?
See the name? Danielle Ryan.
Oh, it shows the name.
Yeah. It shows the name. I'm going to have to change that too, because it's not right enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I think I need to help you with your cosmetics of your fonts and stuff. It's just not.
Yeah. No, you're right. I do. This is not refined. I was so excited just to have this work.
Oh, I totally get that idea where it's like, functions. Now we can.
Functions, and I'm happy. And I forgot to set it to fire it off tonight, but it's a learning curve. But now that I have something where if I'm doing a live stream, it's kicking. So John, good night. It's way past your bedtime. Thanks a lot for stopping in and saying hi. I appreciate it. And I did watch his video today, by the way. So
don't forget to answer that one question before you sign off.
Don't forget that answer. Yeah, I have a lot of questions. This one right here. Drop in and ask any question. Say hi.
Yeah, it's been scrolling around the whole time.
No one cares.
John did. John called it out. Maybe it was driving crazy.
Nobody cares.
Samantha, another weird font you got there. Why would you choose? That's a tough font, bro.
It is. I'm gonna fix it. I'll fix it. Hi guys, I'm so late tonight. That's okay.
I love you, man. You're just so. I got it. Just calm.
You know how much I'm doing? I'm learning vMix and literally.
I'm waiting for you to do the whole. Don't maybe pull this stream over.
That's it. Yeah.
Get out of this stream car, and we're gonna.
Thanks for stopping in, Sam. And I do catch her videos and I do watch them. It's just hard to catch her when she's like 8:30 because it's right before we're going to go live.
I know.
Otherwise, I'd love to spend some time, but I like there's one factor I noticed that something new is that she's got all these hearts that come in when when her stream starts or right before.
Mhm.
And I think that looked really good. And I noticed like her little set of bullet points that come up as a question. And she's always doing good stuff with OBS, and that's
love that.
always impressive. And
Yeah, I need to
like
look at
her, we're trying to learn, and Jeffrey and I are learning vMix along with a million other things. I almost dropped a picture into Notion the other day, but it just was way too.
Oh, you didn't do it. It's so easy.
It was so
Copy,
overwhelming.
paste,
I couldn't do
embed.
it.
We are gonna have to. We're just gonna
Oh.
have to have a little. Ryan Paul got in Notion. He kind of went deep all of a sudden. Like he really got into it.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely got to be careful because I'm not going to let it overwhelm me. So I gotta.
No, you don't want that. But what you want to, no, I don't want that for you either. These apps, if so, it's like Tom Buck. Like, I think I know how to teach because I've done as a freelancer who went around telling people how to do things at this level. You had to explain to all these new people how to do things, and it was one thing that really I became very adept at knowing. And also as a freelancer, be honest with you, I was always on the run to learn information quickly from people who knew what they're doing. So I learned really quickly what worked in explaining things to me. And then you've found those people, even on YouTube, you see it, that are trying to talk over you or they're leaving things out because of an agenda. And then you run into people who can give you some well thought out, systems to learn.
Yeah.
My point being, yeah, overwhelming people with information doesn't work if the stuff doesn't flow. My point is we wouldn't do that to you. We would set you up. We'd get you into a little plan. You'd be using it so you can use it right away. I think for you, what would be most important is a place to gather. So a bucket where all your stuff is gathered in one spot. And when you feel like you want to start moving, fine. But it's just a place to put every little thing that you want to clip out easy and put in there and then add to.
And that's the easiest way to start, right? So that would be
the easiest way. And I find it's the most useful way.
Right. Honestly. I know she's always working on her stream, and that's and visually that always helps out, right? So that's the idea as we try to grow our stream. And so I mean that's something I got to work on, and I will. And but there's so many things that we're trying to do, and I think we're getting close to really getting to where we want to get, And I'm really nervous because I was like saying to myself today that I don't know if it's next week that I want to try to do the stream on vMix, but it's getting close.
It's getting close. I have to get caught up, but I don't think it'll take me that long. And if you're hosting on that first one, that'll take some pressure off of me just to kind of connect and use whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be more on you, but I need to learn as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to look a little different, everything's going to look a little different.
It's going to look a little different, but it's exciting. I think it's fun to grow. But what happens is we get in that mode, right? Where other people are kind of, they're in a different place where they're like, oh, they can add things. But we're learning or you're in that learning mode. You're just not in a place to add things you can use because you're so busy learning. But your time comes where all of a sudden, it's our journey, our time. We'll get it figured out.
Yeah. The plus is that visually our pictures are going to look incredible.
I'm excited.
And especially with your new camera too.
I know.
And then from there, it's just going to be making sure that our cuts are going to be good, like the 2-up pictures and showing off, the screens and stuff like that.
Do you think the 6400 is really going to present much of a different, really in streaming mode anyway, than the 5100 though?
Well, streaming mode, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm just curious to see if even if you should notice a little bit in colors, and the focus should be much more tamed.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's true.
Today, you know what I spent doing a little reading today on the Sony A7S, not the S, the S3, I think, and then the new A7C. So I was doing a reading on that because they're basically the same exact camera physically, right? and the price difference is something around $250 to $300. Okay. And the A7C is smaller a little bit, okay, which some people may like and may not like, because if you're a photographer and you're working with big lenses, you want to have a little more of a counterbalance with a bigger body. So it depends on what you're doing. But if you're a videographer, maybe it's a different story. But the thing that caught me the most is they talked about the biggest difference is the autofocus is incredibly better. They said it much better. And then they also said that the AI is much better, which we know that because I did a lot of reading on that recently. And that's even with the AI in the 6400 is greatly improved versus like a 61.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what is he saying?
Here we go. Here we go.
What, John? But this is the A7 III. This is not just the A7 III. It's the A7 IIIS. It might be.
Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the S. So
it's important though.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I just kind of like caught this really quick with reading today because I'm interested in that Sony. I know they've had some firmware issues, and so I'm waiting for them to sort that out. But that's not something I need really. I don't need any cameras. So, but I do like what it can do. But again, all these cameras are fighting over overheating, like the R5, the R6s, Canons, and these things too. Like that's the biggest thing holding them back.
For a minute there, I was like, God, should I spend the money?
No.
And then yesterday, everything's set up, trying to record and do things, and my 5100 was hot as hell. Like no matter what, not even recording to it, I was recording to OBS. Pretty direct for a while.
Yeah.
And it was really hot. And I tried to do I wanted to take a small, 5-second clip for a test so I can look at it later. It's like, nope, shut down. Like it's too hot. Shut your computer, your camera down. It's like, you can't do anything. It's starting to get really frustrating. So I feel very good that I've got something tomorrow coming that maybe get me out of this loop of the heating problem.
Yeah, and this is why I thought the 6400 was perfect for you too. And the thing is,
I felt convinced about that being there was a nice cutoff for it. It fit in something more than this than the bottom end of it. So I appreciate it, Brian. That's good to know.
And then the other thing is that they were talking about the A7C and overheating. So it's an issue with that camera also. And then after our discussion on Tuesday, I just let me go to B&H. So I went over to B&H's website because I love B&H, right? So I go over to B&H and I start reading reviews on the 5100, right? I don't get much, but like 3 or 4 reviews in, and just one after the other of overheating.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I don't understand. Like I try, and it was hilarious because one of the reviews was like, I'm in my basement. I thought you did the review. I was like, I'm in my basement at 68 degrees and I can't go more than, I can't go more than
68 degrees.
Yeah. He's like, I can't go more than 40 minutes.
40. I can't make it to 40.
Well, I'm just saying what he said.
I know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, I knew it was bad, but I'm like, is it that bad? I mean, first of all, it has a time limit on it. You can't even get past 30 minutes. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
But that's not abnormal for just cameras in general. So
that is true.
That's a tariff issue.
I'm not upset about that, but I'm just saying you're talking about 40 minutes. But maybe he reset it and wanted to continue, but then the heat.
It was along those lines. Also, I don't know which cameras have hacks too, because some of them have software.
I haven't heard of any. I wanted to step back on Samantha's comment. She was way back there talking about iMovie, and it's been a long time since I've used iMovie, so I can't really speak to it. She was having issues with transitions not uploading to YouTube. I don't really, as far as there's a lot of free stuff out there, and John and I are gonna, of course, we're gonna say DaVinci as far as free and amazingly powerful. It's basically, it's not Premiere, but it's basically a lot of people leave Premiere for DaVinci. It does happen a lot.
So what file is an iMovie?
I don't know.
Is it MOV?
It's probably MOV, right?
I don't know.
I guess that I don't. Again, I don't use it enough. It
I'm
has
just
to be MOV.
curious because I know I say if you're using an MOV file, you can just go and what's the word I'm looking for?
Remux.
Translate it. Yeah, Remux, but it's convert. You can go to a converter right online and just convert it to an MP4.
Yeah, that might solve the problem. I wonder if YouTube's just kind of goofy with her, unless she's looking for something maybe to branch out. I mean, if it's just a problem being sticky, maybe try to convert it before you push it up. I'm not exactly sure. He says Brian was saying iMovie defaults to
tariffs. Thanks, Brian. I'm from Jersey, I guess, right?
You are. You guys got to own it. It's okay, man.
I am. I can't help it.
About it. iMovie defaults to H2.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I don't know if there's a situation with that. So you can just go and convert that to another file. Now the MP4, of course, I think it's a little hefty with. I think the MP4 files are a little hefty with CPU usage, right? But I
mean, I don't.
If it's a small file,
I don't know why you'd be having a problem though. Losing. I don't understand why you'd be losing any.
Yeah. So, mommy guy says she just said it is a MOV file.
Maybe it's not in the uploading. Maybe it's in some kind of problem in the compiling and
of the transition.
The NQ. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something actually on her end, not really with iMovie itself. Well, it could be, or with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could try out putting ProRes and uploading it to YouTube.
You can go to PC if you want.
John. Oh, here's John's answer. You just go to PC and Android.
Just go to PC and Android.
That's cheap. It's just throw everything in the garbage.
People off when I say that.
Oh no, people lose their minds. You say stuff like that.
What? But the funny thing is, like I tell everyone, I am not a favorite of something. I have absolutely no problem, and like getting the Apple M2, is that what it is, right? Yeah. The M1. I don't have a problem getting that at all. But when people say it's like super powerful, it is, but it doesn't outdo everything, you know. But that's not the pro level setup anyway that they're going to sell you either. No. And for the price, it's super effective. But there are other laptops out there that you can buy, but everything equates to a lot, right? So the thing is, it's a very low in power usage, and et cetera, and et cetera. And there's just a lot of good things about it. It is a super impressive thing. And it has crossed my mind to sell one of my PC units. I have 2 of them, and just get one and try it out.
Yeah, I'm not against trying it out, but for me, I got too much to do to be screwing around with that.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that right now. I'm sure you have a lot of time. You could probably do it at night.
I could fit it in. So this is the truth, right? I'm not about a brand. I'm about it being effective. That's it.
I don't care about brand. I've gone on both sides of the fence for all these. I use Linux forever too.
Red Hat is a great.
Red Hat was amazing. I love Red Hat. But I mean, at the end of the day, you kind of have to commit. And sometimes what you're in or the job you're in or whatever that is may dictate what path you have to take. There were a lot of people like, well, my company, I use a PC or Mac and I don't want to have to mess around when I come home and have issues. And so sometimes that can dictate, or I own an iPhone, so I'd rather have an iMac I get it. The ecosystem.
Right. I get that too. Right.
Absolutely. And then there's people like me is like, well, it just works out better for me. I prefer the non-Mac ecosphere for a variety of reasons.
Right.
That doesn't mean I think it's better. It's just for me, it's better.
Right.
And I like Android better.
But the truth is there are answers of what is better. I mean, at some point
for PC, I mean, for gaming, PC's better.
Yeah. And that's, this is what Mr. Doma, and I'm going to get to Sam's in a second, her question, but says her answer here, but she says, PC, is great for gaming. So that we know that. And I would like to know, Mr. Doma, what is your specs on your gaming setup?
Good question.
I just like to know maybe your motherboard, your CPU, and your video card. That would be
RAM too. I'm just curious what he's
well.
running.
I'll know. I could probably guess what RAM he's running off of what chip he has.
That's true.
So,
Well, he's
because
minimum 16, so
yeah, and then if he's like, I can have a good guess of if he's running a chip that's like middle of the road money wise, he's probably going to go with a middle of the road RAM also. So
yeah.
and then plus I can decide if it's a Intel versus a Ryzen also. And I'll tell you why in a second. So Inspirational Connection TV says it was the move file was 36 minutes, and when I tried to add one transition in the beginning, it works when I save to downloads, but if I add it more than 3, it won't show in the complete file. So is there no? There can't be a limit on size, right?
Transition at the beginning works when I say no, but what if I add more than 3? So more than 3 transitions, it won't show in the complete file. That's very strange. I guess I'd love to. I mean, in that case, then you would like to try to
change it to an MP4
format,
yeah,
push it up just to take that out of the equation.
Yeah. Before you go any like crazy with anything else, I would just convert it as an MP4 and then see if that works, and then at least get that answer, and then go from there, because that might solve your issue. Period, right there.
Yeah, I want to know if Mr. Doma, if he built his computer out or if he bought a specific one. Oh, come on. The Penguin PCs are fine.
What does that mean by a Penguin PC?
The Red Hat.
Oh.
Linux. The mascot. Come on.
I forgot. It's been years, dude. You know how many like back in the late 80s, that was like the thing. Isn't that hilarious? I don't know if you remember this.
Late 80s.
Yeah, the late 80s. No, not the 80s.
The hell are you talking about?
The late 90s.
90s.
It was.
Yeah.
So the late 90s, it was a thing. Do you remember this? The computer shows?
Yeah.
Like it would be at convention centers. They would just take up a whole like basketball place, and then just like everybody would go through, and the newest chips they were buying, dealing, video cards. Oh, let me pick up my RAM.
It was like a car show.
It was, kind
of like a car show.
Yeah, but it was the thing. Now, I don't know if you have them out by you, but do you have micro centers?
Oh, you mean out here in the sticks over here?
No, I know they're in other states, but the Micro Center is like the bomb when it comes to PC stuff.
I don't know of a Micro Center near me.
Yeah, I mean they're just
Chicago's an hour away. Maybe I could go down there.
Yeah, I don't know what other, but we have one. We have one, and we flock to it because it's one of these like counties it's in one of these counties where you actually get a lower tax bracket on your sales tax.
Nice.
To drive sales in that area. Yeah. And so we're like, it's 3% cheaper on whatever you buy, but they're just like so good, man. You take something back, they take it, it's no issues, but they have everything there. Like if you need to go there and get like the things that you can't find, when you go to Home Depot and you can't find like metric stuff.
Home Depot's a waste unless you're just picking up a paintbrush and a 2x4.
Yeah. Sometimes it's so frustrating. Like, okay, you have the metric bolts, but then you don't have the metric nuts. Like, I got to go to Lowe's to get the nuts.
Or, no, by the time you're done, you're trying to find any True Value center, like a store.
Oh,
like some hole in the wall Ace, anything that would have more than 3 bolts. Because if you go in those places, they got a whole row of every type of bolt, right? I just love serving them guys anyway, because they're just mom and pa still. Yeah, but I got to tell you, the Home Depot. Don't get me started on Home Depot.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like that frustrates me because sometimes you just need a nut and a bolt, the right size. And it's like, we're almost to the point where we think we're like so far ahead in like the world, but I have to go online and order bolts.
This is what it's coming to.
So that drives
me. I missed, we had a new Best Buy here, and about a year ago, it was like a year ago, and then he shut it down. They're like, oh, we're just going to move it down 10 miles. We're just going to leave the old one that's 10 miles from you. It's been there a while. We're just going to, and that one's almost gone out of business because of everything. So there are very few places where you can go and put your hands on things on a technical.
Yeah.
And that bums me out because this idea that, oh, just get it and send it back. I'm like, well, that's just terrible. I mean, yes, you can do it, but how is that good for the planet? I want to be able to touch out keyboards and play with the and like just there's certain things you want, or monitors to really get a little bit vibe of what does it really feel like, It's a little bit of a bummer. I kind of miss that.
Yeah, it's like you're there, and if a button has a tactile feel, I want to feel it. I want to see how that feels. When I grab this button, does it have a lot of movement or not? And so that was like, even like, at least when I went to Best Buy, they had an M50 Mark II there, and they had a ZV-1. So that's like,
John, the Best Buys I've been to lately, there's nothing there.
Yeah. Oh, the gaming section is they could do so much more. And I talked to you about this.
Yeah.
Like the gaming section is like 8 feet long, and Elgato's got a computer there. And then they do an AI green screen of you sitting down and you're supposed to be amazed by that. And then you want to buy their stuff. So let me buy a Wave 3, but I did see someone buying a blue Yeti and walking out. So that was very exciting.
Did you congratulate them on their purchase?
Yeah. I said, what a waste.
Can you imagine this guy coming up? God, that's a terrible decision.
And then they go there and they're like, yeah, I'm listening to them because I'm just like so stumped. First of all, right? GoPro has like 3 cameras left right now, like as far as what they sell in the GoPros. It's the 7 black, the 8 black, and the silvers and stuff, and the 9, right? And it's like 3 different cameras with a couple different levels, and they can't even have them on the shelf. Not one. So of the 7 black, I had to wait a week, right? So here I am waiting a week, but I go to the store, just maybe there's one on the shelf for some reason. I feel I just can't trust that they can't have one. So I go, because I live literally a half a mile away from the mall.
You're like, maybe they've got one.
Maybe they got one. Maybe. I live a half a mile away from the mall. So I'll go over to the mall and I go in there and I'm hearing the guy talk, and they're like, yeah, the GoPro 9 is 20 megapixels, so, that's a lot better. And I'm like, really? Yeah. And it's like, it really does blow your mind of like when people walk into a store and it's something that they really don't know about, then they just get information from people that really don't know about it, and then they just buy it.
No, I mean, we can't trust that anymore. I think the last place that I could trust that kind of stuff would be like going into True Value, where the people live it, but if you're hiring people that maybe they got a hobby into it, a lot of people younger kids that work at Best Buy do it to get the discount for their gaming stuff or some of their tech stuff. They're not, they kind of know stuff. Some kids are wizards. For the most part, they go there and they know a certain thing. They're biased because they're young.
Yeah.
And then you have the old people who are biased because they're old.
Yeah. And then when I went there and I got my Stream Deck, the kid's like, so what are you using this for? And it's like, you playing games? And I'm like, no, I really don't play games. I go,
the guy looked at you and said, you play games?
That's all. He was just like, oh my God, please tell me you play something that I play. That would be so exciting to have a conversation.
Please tell me you play Soul or something
Right. But I did wear my, by the way. Yeah. So he was not impressed. I was like, listen, I do a stream on tech and stuff. And
say, mister, do you not play Grand Theft Auto?
Right. No, there's too much swearing, I said. All right, bye.
You're not in my market, sir.
You don't play Call of Duty?
Could you find another? I'm going to be off. I'm going to be off my job.
Yeah, you want to go on Discord and play Call of Duty? So
real toxic.
Hey, listen, my son, I've been telling him for a year to like get his own Discord. So because we had to get a cell phone because of this year. Okay. And the way school was, it was crazy. So he had to have a cell phone. Would not have bought him a cell phone at this age. And so now he's got his cell phone and he's playing his games and he's talking on his cell phone. I'm like, Discord. This is like against the whole tech thing. Like you have Discords, you have ways that they can talk through a lot of these games.
He's not using Discord on his phone. He's literally using the phone.
Yes.
Oh
And
God.
so finally, after about a year of doing this,
Oh, kids.
him and his one friend convinced him to get into a Discord. And the thing is you got to be careful. I don't want them going into a Discord full of it's
It's
their
odd.
personal Discords of just the kids.
Yeah, it's a little creepy in there.
No, it's super creepy. So yeah. Listen, not
I was
saying
just trying to be.
there's
I
just
was trying to be
yeah.
measured. But
I don't know because I don't use Discord, but I know people that use Discord for business and stuff like that, but the point is for me, he's 10. So I don't care. He doesn't need to be in there with 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds or anything like that. He needs to have his own section with just his friends. And that's what they do. And that I love. And it works great.
I gotta tell you, John, I could get into the whole thing about games because when COVID started, I didn't know what to do with myself. So I think I told you I got into gaming. I thought I'll do some gaming. I'm not a big gamer, so I'm like, I'll do it. But nothing spoke to me. I stepped in. I'm not really a big first shoot person game. When Halo was big, I was into that, but not really in the community sense. I just did it on my own on my couch. And then someone's like, well, play Call of Duty. I got in there and I got to tell you, the toxicity in those rooms with young kids was unbearable. Like,
yeah,
I could deal with people yelling at me. It's just, man, what a sickness. It sounded terrible. So I got into Sea of Thieves, and that was actually very enjoyable and was a lovely community because it was new and people really enjoyed how you work together. However, they started an arena end of that, which was basically a battle royale, Sea of Thieves. Same thing, just became young kids using words you would never think a Marine would use. And I was really shocked. I had to report a couple. I'm not a person who reports people, but
you are.
Well, I mean,
I had to report a couple of people, but I don't report people.
I don't report. I'm not a Karen, but some of the bullying that was going on was really just too much. Like, if I told you what was said, you'd be like, "What?" But
yeah. Well, listen, that's the thing. Like, I literally had a discussion with my son this past year, and I had to tell him swear words because I didn't want it to be a surprise when he heard them and be the kid that didn't know what they were. And but we don't talk like that in our household. And if daddy or mommy usually ever drop one, it's because they're upset about something. It's a rarity.
Sure.
And it kind of like triggers that we are PO'd about something if it does happen, because it's not like we're just talking like truck drivers. And
that would be me. You know that. So
yeah, because I don't want to talk like that. I worked around, a bunch of construction workers for 12 years, and I had to hear, and it made me talk a little bit like that too.
Sure, it will do it. Yep.
Yeah. But in turn, I don't want to talk like that. I don't want my son to talk like that. I want him to be the respectable kid, So I explained these things to him, and then he was like, "Oh," and then what does that mean? I'm like, "Well, that's for like next year. I'm not going to tell you what it means."
That's masterclass swearing.
I'm just telling you these are the words, and then I will tell them when you're like 20. I'll tell you what they mean. All right, kid? Yeah, because
you really should have told me at 15 what those words meant.
Oh, because he'll find out. But my God, I don't. That's going to be a whole
you
conversation.
Start playing. You get on Discord, you're going to know every word.
Yeah,
there's no way to run from it. And
well,
I don't know. I mean, when you're around good parents, that stuff kind of works out. But I think a lot of these kids, sadly, I mean, maybe it's the good parents, but they work a lot or whatever, so they can't be there, and so it's not really their bad parents. But it's a tough thing. I mean, that's not really.
Yeah, but it's the truth of the matter is it's easy to get lazy about it, because we're exhausted. Usually, everybody is working so much, and then you come home, and then it's something to keep the kids occupied.
Sure.
And and then we don't go in it. But the thing is, I don't want to be over his shoulder and always breathing down his neck about it. I want to be upfront with him and just say, listen, this is the stuff that people talk. And then he comes back to us and then he tells us like, so-and-so talks like this and so-and-so talks. I'm like, yeah. So, and he's like, I don't really want to hang around them like all that much. And then I had to have a discussion with him also that if someone is swearing often, you can ask them to like curb it, and B, doesn't make them a bad person. But he was like, yeah, but I just don't like to hear that all the time. And I was like, well, then that's your choice. Everybody makes their own choices. But I just want you to let you know that just because someone swears doesn't make them a bad person,
No,
And
it usually depends on the energy and there's so
yeah,
many things. But how is a 10-year-old supposed to nuance that out?
they don't. They
You
don't
know what
get
I
it.
mean?
He just thinks daddy thinks it's like, and mommy thinks it's this way. So I don't really want to be
Right,
around
he's
those people.
working it out through his head,
Yeah.
and that's
But
fine.
I'm the kind of guy like I would go to lunch with these couple construction workers. Say on lunch, we'd go out to a diner and we would have, I would be pissed off. And I literally told a couple people I'll punch them in the face if they keep on talking that way.
Oh,
But we'd be at a diner and they'd be dropping F bombs and talking loud. And I'm like, dude, there are people here just wanting to come and have an enjoyable
yeah,
lunch.
there's always a place, in public that's just a tough thing to put out,
Yeah.
right? It's just uncomfortable.
And one day I was like really PO'd about it. I'm like, listen, you keep on talking like that, because I can't stand that, like there's, like you said, it's like you have to realize at some point that if you're around kids or other people, they
Read
deserve
the
to be,
room.
huh?
Read the room,
Right.
right? No, you have to know when it's appropriate or not, and sometimes it's just not appropriate.
Do you know that you ever see that show with John, what's his name, where they set up somebody and they jump in to try to save somebody, like if they're getting made fun of, or John,
It starts with an S,
yeah,
not Steinel.
no. It's so like if the kid is
know
at a table with a parent and the parent's yelling
what
at
would
them,
you do? I think
yeah,
it's
what would you do? Right. I thought I was getting set up for a TV show. I'm at
Stassel, John Stassel, or something like
no.
that. Yeah,
I think it's no. He's got a Spanish name. I think he's a Spanish guy. You're thinking of John Stossel.
I am.
Yeah, it's a different guy.
Really?
But
yeah, what would you do?
John Ukina, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm
It's
with you.
something like that.
Yeah, I
So
do know what you're talking about. Yep.
So anyway, I think I'm getting set up for a show, and I see this mom, and she is like, I see you around your dad. You're just like your dad. Da da da. And she's talking so loud, the whole diner is looking at her, and they're like practically weeping for the kids.
Right.
And it gives me chills talking about it. But
Yeah.
I got up in the whole full diner and walked up to the table and said, enough of you yelling at your kids and embarrassing them and making them feel like they're garbage. They don't deserve to get talking like that too. Blah, 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 blah. Right. And I think like, oh, you can't. Yeah. So that's the name. So she's like, my friends were like, oh, that's a good job. But one of my friends said to me, and I didn't think of this, right? One of my friends, now get this. This is the truth of the matter. When she got up after I yelled at her and she started walking out, the whole place started clapping.
Sure. Yeah, because everybody in there was
people came up to me.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 people came up to me and they're like, thank you for doing that and whatever. But then I went back and sat down and I almost like cried.
Right.
No. My friend said to me, now they're leaving with her. And now they're going to get smacked in the back seat. Right. And I almost had tears in my eyes, like thinking, I didn't think of that. And I was like,
I suppose that does kind of run through your mind, but then my feeling is she's going to do it anyway. She at least got this because you know what I mean? That's kind of, she's going to look for an excuse anyway. She'd have gotten out there and go, see, you made me yell at you and blah, blah, blah. And then treat them like garbage. These people, unfortunately, are.
Yeah. It was just,
maybe you also set a tone. It's hard to know. Right?
I could not step in because, and I come close to stepping in kind of often sometimes, but it takes a lot for me to do it. And I just couldn't hold myself back at that point. Cause literally these kids weren't 15 years old. They were 8 and like 6.
Yeah. When you see the young kids like that getting just emotionally run over, it's really just brutal. It's such abuse. Not a fan. I applaud you on that. I'm glad you stepped in.
Oh yeah. Well, it was nothing to do about being a hero. It was just like,
no, I mean, but I'm just saying, everybody there wanted to, and it's just like, we do this. Why do we do this as a society where we sit back and we all looking around at each other going, oh, are you going to do it? Cause I want somebody to do it, but you're not the one to do it.
Yeah. But listen, confrontation's tough. Like
it is, especially nowadays.
People get shot.
Yes. Or sued.
So
You know,
Yeah,
you
or
can't.
sued, or yeah. So I mean, there's a lot, but I mean, when it's kids like that, if it were two adults, let them battle it out. But these are two kids that can't even fend for themselves, and they're so beaten down. Is like I could feel it.
Yeah, you always wonder like why are we in the middle of a Denny's having a beat down on kids emotionally?
Right.
What are we doing here? Just making a point. Yeah.
All right. So I think we rambled on about non-tech stuff for a while, but I like doing that. That's fun. It's a little
Fine.
different,
It's life.
talk.
Fine. So whatever.
So
I'm
we
getting
haven't had
easily
anybody
unsubscribed.
new. I haven't had anybody new come in, and not much has happened. And
Yeah.
and
Still not hanging.
I don't have an
Yeah.
outro yet.
No, you don't have an. I think you worked on the Dancing Man. You didn't work on an outro.
No, I don't have an outro yet.
Okay.
I don't know. Who cares
You got
about
to
that?
augment the product a step at a time. You can't just do everything at once and then
I can't make it look
give
great
people,
all at once.
Yeah, I got to give them something new.
That's a work in progress.
Does it look like if we do? My screen is dirty. You can't see it though.
Screen is dirty.
What do you think it'll look like when we get to 1080? I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I look like I'm in 1080 right now because when we're
I do on my screen, but
I was gonna say, right. I look blurry on your screen, and
no, not really. No, I don't think you look blurry.
It always looks better on your own screen, though.
It does, but you have a full frame, right? I mean, you have a little bit of a.
Yeah, but it's not going to change the resolution.
I know, but the better the input, still always helps. Maybe
that's what I say to her.
I'm having an issue tonight with. I didn't change anything, and yet I've got a redness going on. I can't figure out. It could be just some lighting and some auto white adjustments, but I got to figure that out. I feel like my tone's red tonight. Can't figure out why.
Yeah, I mean,
they didn't change anything, but sometimes it's just a shifting of the light balance can do that. And I've been moving stuff around, so I'll be glad maybe not do that so much. So I play around with the light. So I feeling I shifted a light and it's just bouncing and hitting and it's making the camera go conky.
But don't go crazy until you get your new camera anyway.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not doing anything. I'm just I'm waiting. I got everything set up to go. My buddy spent some time yesterday with my sound engineer friend, and he hooked me up with like 300 plugins. I don't need all these plugins, but we got the best ones for drum tracks, but specifically because he does recording, professional recording for audiobooks. So we really worked on that to make sure if I want to run any mic through here, we have the best noise suppression or the best noise leveling that we can have. And this guy's got the best stuff. So
he's got VTS3.
Oh yeah. It's got every plugin you want, man.
VTS3 is where it's at. You can get those VST2 for free.
These are all threes, man. These are so we've been dumping everything into DaVinci, and he's like, I'll just come down. Kind of owes me. So he's gonna he's a friend. So he's gonna work with me on making sure everything's running right. And he's like, if you want, I'll come down there and polish that up and show you how to do it. I'm like, yeah, he's a DaVinci guy. Yeah. I mean, I love that. This guy is so into audio. Plus he's recording, he knows how to do music too. He's a killer musician too. But it's just nice to have somebody who knows DaVinci and knows the plugins. And he's like, let's just do a thing. We'll figure this out. Because basically, if you can kind of figure out those few plugins what are the bigger issues? Well, the bigger issue would be either you didn't quite get your low volumes and your high volumes where you want it, maybe, or you got a little more noise floor than you wanted. If you can figure out, okay, there's ways to manage those things. There are some really good tools.
Yeah. I mean, and plus if you got some guy that's willing to teach you right then and there, I mean, what's better than that?
He's like, yeah, he goes, just do the trailer. Cause I've got a boom mic using a condenser mic that I've got that's an overhead. It's going to work out fine. I put it over there using that for my little mic. I'm running it in here. And I'm like, I've got not terrible noise, but if we can clean that up, and I don't want to run noise suppression through OBS. I don't want anything on the front end. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad to have that, just to kind of help finish off that concern.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay, man.
There's so much going on with OBS.
You're very emotional. I get it.
Went down the wrong pipe.
Somebody get that man a hanky. I know. I hate that. I've done that. It's just the worst timing.
There's so much going on with OBS, noise-wise, sound-wise.
Yeah.
And the same goes on with StreamYard to an extent. That's that's the toughest things I think we battle against.
It is. I mean, I think we can find I think we could find a picture quality much easier and fight that, even with
Right.
all the different scenarios between light and dark. I think it's easier to figure that out. For some reason, it's more inherent. Audio, because it's you can't almost see it. I mean, if you get good at reading waves, but that's still the feedback loop is different. You know, you can use your
Yeah.
ears, you can use levels, but it's still, until you get used to reading those cues better and understanding what your equipment does.
Yeah.
I think it's trickier.
I think there's some things where a Mac work better because you got the loop back, and I think that works better with OBS and everything. But there are just things that don't work when I set up the audio that goes through OBS into StreamYard.
Okay. Well,
that's a tough combo. That's a tough combo.
It is. It's you're battling a couple different weirdnesses there.
Now, if you weren't dealing with the StreamYard, then a lot of stuff works better. So it's the in and out of two different softwares that make it a little difficult.
What I realized too is how much I really do like condenser mics with my voice. Like when I use that and listen to it, and I just put even a soft noise suppression in OBS, I'm like, damn, that sounds good. Nothing in a Go XLR. It's totally cut out. Everything in there is cut out. I flatline my EQ, and I'm like, sounds good. Like I really do like it. And this is not, maybe, you know, if I got a 990 or an NT1.
I have a 990 I could sell you.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Yeah.
You know, probably.
Yeah, well, we can work out a deal. They're only what, $90 new, but if you can give me, you know, a couple dollars.
No, I bought it for 75.
Is that right? I thought your voice sounded really good on it, you know?
It does sound good on it, and I like it, but the noise floor is a little high for me.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
That's the only problem I have with it.
And that's the issue here too, is you're fighting, like I'm trying to really get my arms around, okay, dude, you might like the condenser, but I don't think that's for me on live streams, because otherwise I have to run up front something to buffer the floor. So I don't think that's going to work out. But for recordings where I can use really good follow-up in post, and I'm confident it's not distorting, and I've gotten an education from this guy that he's like, hey man, I'm telling you this, because I asked him about, I was like, well, what about the noise suppression utilities that, you know, you just let it read the room and then it filters out? And he goes, I hate it. It never works. And you always sound robotic in the end. It just colorizes no matter what. No, use it, you know, at the very, use NS1, but you know, whatever, but do not use those tools. He says, you'll be shocked. He goes, you can push pretty decent without colorizing anything. And it's amazing.
I definitely have heard that there is one thing out there that's really good, but the thing that I've heard the most is you need someone that knows what they're doing with that, or you need to spend the time and actually go through the attack and the release little by little by little until you see that it doesn't become so drastic.
Well, look at NS1, because there's none of that. NS1 is a slider, and it's so good. You just decide how much you want to. It's the algorithms in that thing are incredible.
And so this is a paid software?
Yeah, it's $30 on its own.
Oh, okay.
Not bad at all. I would recommend it as a standalone. Now he gave me a suite that I'm going to load in, because we're going to use it for different drum tracks. I want certain plugins, and there's a couple other. He was talking about a voice analyzer that will actually fade your track as it goes, like you've got someone sitting on a fader to actually balance things out. I mean, there's some tools that are just so incredible right now. I don't need anything crazy, but if I can get, I've heard some good things about iZotope.
Yeah,
but
I actually looked it up one day after he had mentioned it in a stream.
Yeah, but I trust my guy on this, and I've heard his audio stuff or his pro stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I believe it. And he's used it with DaVinci, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And so when I get that, when I play with that, I'll let you know, man. I'll let you know what I'm using, because you use DaVinci, and if you want to know anything, let me know. And Brian, him and I talked a little bit, so I'll let him.
I was actually in the audio stuff in DaVinci yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking around. I was messing with noise suppressors and all that stuff.
I think I would give NS1 a look. I think it's worth the 30.
Can you use it like standalone, like for our mics, like right now, or is it post?
No.
Is it for post processing only?
It's gonna be post. You can't use it with OBS because it's VS3, VST3. You can't use it with OBS, which is a bummer. And so maybe, I mean, at some point OBS is gonna
Can we
go.
use it in vMix?
Does it take VST3?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can. Just don't, we just gotta apply it. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's worth looking into. So there's probably a handful of ones I told them from what I was told I want to load up and be taught and use them, and I just want, look, I don't want to fight with audio in my stuff. We fight enough with just getting shots and getting things done.
Right.
I don't want to fight with it. I want to know that there's a handful of tools. I don't care if it's 2 or 3 that I have at my disposal. One, to kill some floor noise. And 2, to normalize vocals the way I want them, to really kind of keep things.
DaVinci does that though. It normalizes.
It does. It's not bad, but there are better normalization tools than they're in stock, but it does the job. It does pretty good. So I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm sure it does more than enough for what I want. My bigger issue is with the suppression, noise suppression. And I just want to make sure I've got something good enough, because I've got some issue here with some of the stuff going on here, but I have to use a condenser mic. I think it'll work out, but I just need to get that,
I think it will too.
This is part of the puzzle that I'm really glad to have some answers or a blueprint for an answer for, because I was like a little bit kind of like, oh man, I'm sweating this out a little bit.
No, I think we can learn anything. So I'm not.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about this, because I felt like it didn't fall in my lap, because this guy is a good friend of mine, but it's just that we had a discussion. He's like, yeah, I got answers for you. Here, he sent me a thing. I'm like, oh,
cool.
How much is that? He goes, it's free. I'm like, are you really? Okay. All right. That's like 300 plugins in there, but I don't need all these. So he's like, he goes, well, I'll walk you through and tell you which ones you want for what you get using it for. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So we'll have a discussion. We'll figure it out.
Cool.
Brian.
We gotta definitely try to get together this weekend.
Yeah, man, I'm around. Also, it doesn't help you. Never mind. My wife's gonna be gone on next Tuesday, but I forgot you work.
Next Tuesday?
Yeah. I'm home all alone next Tuesday. So if you have any, for some reason you're around, let me know.
Well, what we could do is I'm
home all weekend too. So
okay. I could do something with Tuesday, maybe with Notion with you. I'll take some time. And then maybe this weekend I want to do we got to test vMix more. Yeah. We got to go with the vMix call and all that. And
I'm all set up, which is great. And we did have at least a litmus test on that. So that's cool. Brian, expanders and gates, boy, that really opens up so much. And I think it's fine, but I'll let you know. I don't want to really have to deal with so much of that, honestly, in my audio. I want things that are kind of slider ridden, that know what they're doing. They cost more. I get it. I just don't care. My time is worth spending the money for those things, I think. But I'll know. If it sucks, I'll let you know.
You find out, like, what I've heard about gates is that sometimes you can never get rid of that, like, I don't know, that robotic kind of effect.
Limits. I've not had success with it here, and it could be that the amount of reflection I got in this room until I get my acoustical panels, which now that he's back,
yeah,
I'm going to make them.
I got some of that issue
wood
too.
Cost.
I got that issue too, because
you got a little reflection.
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know if I should put them on these doors on the sides, but I'm not going on the ceiling. I'm not doing
ceiling. I'm just gonna pepper some around. It'll be a cool look anyway, and I'll just pepper around. You can put whatever fabric you want on them. You can go anywhere and get it. It's not that complex of a build. It's just we were waiting because some of the lumber prices are supposed to come down now that they're uncorking the supply problem, because they've been just jacked up on prices lately. But so we're going to build that out.
It's not in my wheelhouse, but it's interesting. Absolutely it is, because I love audio too. And plus, I like to sound really good. And
yeah, I mean, good audio is... Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I hear the reflection in this room at times. And this is why I've moved closer, because it will help that. But the other thing is, that it definitely doesn't sound as good as it could. And so I'm always about trying to make it sound as good as it can. So, and then the other thing is we can talk all we want on here, but we're going through StreamYard, so we're not getting an accurate feedback on this at all. So
Now this is so dirtied up. We have no idea
yeah,
what's happening. And that's
mean,
the
we-
thing. You start recording direct and
Right.
you start listening back. You're like, I can hear like a fly's wings. So that's fun. The curtains absolutely do help.
yeah, they definitely do.
And not having a square room helps. All that stuff helps. But for me, these are big walls. I have a lot of wall all around. So I need to cut it down with some acoustic panels just to knock it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to use that for a visual thing, but I just
Yeah,
gotta
I'm
build them
interested.
out. That's
I'm definitely all interested in getting those types of things set up right for me too. And we'll get there.
someday I'll make you some, man.
The thing is, we get people. What's crazy is I get a lot of people saying we sound so good, already.
Well, I think in comparison, we do sound pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we'll sound better on vMix, and I think we sound better on vMix with some, some acoustic control.
Yeah.
Now that you're getting down, I think that's not going to get, even with vMix, you probably won't pick up on it as much as you would recording directly in a very sensitive way that's not being compressed, on any level. But I don't know. I have no idea what vMix will sound like.
No, I don't really either, because like I said, I only go through this now. I have recorded a few things in there and it sounds good, but I haven't done anything at length. So
let me ask Brian while he's here before we head out. I'll ask you this too. I have two questions, if this is okay, on my setup for recording this thing. On the OBS, if I try to go direct in the OBS, which I had to try to do because of heat.
Okay.
Fine. But here's my question. My camera is set up at the 2450 for recording, 24 FPS for the 50 shutter or whatever you call it.
Yeah. Yeah, the 180 roll.
Yes, right. So that's how I set up. So it's the more, I quote, cinematic texture.
Yeah.
24.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. But my question is, what would OBS? So do I need to set OBS at that same level of FPS for the output, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't find one that, I don't know if it had one that matched in there, but I'll have to take a look. Maybe I'm just, here, I have it right here. Let me, my DAF.
Yeah. Go right up to stream output.
I can't, because I'm virtual right now. I can't uncork it because my camera's heating up. So it would be in the common FPS values.
So you have 24 here.
Yeah, okay. That would work. Okay, second question. But I need to have those matched up, right? I mean, the camera and the OBS still has to match, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Brian confers. Now, my other question is this: if you guys are running, I know what the answer is though. So I wanted to try to use my Samson S20 to kind of do a second camera angle for a multi-camera angle. And I was going to dump them in, sync them with the audio sync for sound, right? Then you can multi-cam, play around.
Yeah.
Samson will not let you record at 24.
It won't let you record at 24.
Bitching and moaning, only at 30 or 60 or higher above. So I guess that's not going to happen because it would be a weird, it's 30 versus 24. I'd have to, so that kind of sucks. I'll have the two cameras so I could use them, but.
No. If you're recording at 30, you can pull it in at 24.
That's not going to make it at all legit.
Not if you're just taking clips of it.
Brian? Any thoughts? I mean, inherently, I think you're right. Like that's what I was thinking, but I'm like,
because remember, when you go into DaVinci, you have to set your timeline.
Yeah, okay. But like Brian said, you'd get drift. That's what I'm kind of wondering about. It's eventually going to unsync, I think.
Oh, because you're using the audio. One audio.
Yeah, you're probably be right if you're just using if you're just dropping in.
No, you're using one audio. You're not changing audios, so you're not going to get drift.
But you got to sync both cameras. You're using both cameras' audio on that unit that you recorded. You're going to sync that to get the audio I mean, yeah, you're going to use that to sync up your video. So if that's off,
Yeah.
if you record at any
Yeah,
length,
but
you'll get audio
like
drift.
what he's saying here,
Now I won't get audio drift. Well, maybe okay. I guess I'm not understanding where the audio drift is coming from, because I'll have a pure source that's not the camera. Like I'm going to delete the camera's
right.
audio.
So if you set your timeline at 24x whatever, everything will come in at that. And then you're using audio from a mic like this. You're not taking it from the camera. Correct?
Right. I'm going to do direct solo sound record
Right.
track. That's going to be
So
the
you
master.
shouldn't have an issue.
Okay. I mean, inherently I get that. He's saying you can sample 30 at 24 to keep it in sync.
Exactly. And that's what you do when you set your timeline in DaVinci. It does that automatically for you.
It's going to pull the 30 into 24, right?
It's going to pull 24 out of the 30.
Well, I guess that's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it's opposite, but you can't pull.
I thought I said it's going to.
It's not going to go higher. It's going to go lower.
Oh, I said it pull 30. I thought it said pull 30. Okay. I mean, it'll take the 30 into 24. It'll absorb it into 24.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I meant. You said it
Okay,
better.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking conversion. That's all.
No, I mean, you're right. That's the way to say it. It'll make it because
Oh,
otherwise, normally it'll say is, hey, it's at 30. Do you want to make it to 30 and make it? No, I'm saying, no, man, I didn't know she was still here.
Yeah, let us know how that works out. Change it to an MP4 file. Come back and let us know.
Yep.
Send me a message too or something.
Yeah, I'd be curious. That's really an odd situation there, like to lose transitions like that. Yeah. Okay.
And what's he saying here? I don't know, guys. I had a lot of trouble with sync with multiple frame rates. You might be right, but I think DaVinci is pretty smart nowadays, and things are pretty amazing. So I think you'll be okay, because I feel like I've gone through this already.
The good news is this: I was just going to do it to test. Like I don't need it. Like I'm already going to record. I'll set it up as just a lark. Try it. It doesn't work. We'll learn something.
Yeah.
Long term, I'll have the two cameras to mess around with. I'm gonna have to run this camera always into something because I can't record to itself unless it's a short ass clip, which is fine too.
I believe I went through this with my GoPro.
Yeah.
My old GoPro, but I can't remember. It was a while ago.
I mean, it'd be interesting. It's kind of a bummer though, and a lot of people are really bitching about Samsung, saying why can't you can't do this? Like because iPhones, I believe, can. I'm sure an iPhone can go at 24.
Yeah. But what about if you download a free app? That still won't control it?
I don't know, man.
Listen, I don't think you're going to have a problem, though. Like I said, if you pull it in, it's going to convert that timeline to 24 anyways.
Yeah, Brian, that was another suggestion I saw, was clap at the beginning and at the end.
You don't have to do that.
Well, it's a way to check, though.
Uh-uh.
No? Oh, what would you do to check?
They have it built into DaVinci, bro. They put it in like 16.
I understand that there's a sync up, but there is if you're not careful, there is drifting. In other words, after a certain period of time, things would drift out.
And it would only happen in that one little section if it did.
Right. But let's just say you've lined up everything. Okay. You brought the full clips from both cameras in. They got their timelines. You're going to watch a multicam, and you're going to, at that point, choose what you want at any particular time. Right. If there's any drifting going on, it's going to get wonky.
Yeah, but the drift would, if it did occur, it would only occur in the section of the one camera. So what you would have to do is just go back and line up that one section, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
I mean, you could go back and firm it up. I mean, that's true, but
I don't think you're going to have a problem, though.
I might not, but I mean, it's good to have that talk beforehand, just to kind of keep an eye out.
Well, I just know because I watched a lot of videos on this, because they just remember. I don't know if you know this, but they only just put this in like DaVinci 15 or 16.
Yeah, I'm aware. I mean, because I was using 15.
Yeah, you've been using it, so right.
It's a great tool. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying that I've seen people kind of struggle. I mean, it's not hard at all to sync up things that are in the same bit rates or in the same, FPS, whatever.
Yeah.
But there is a real drift thing. I've seen this with music all the time. Guys bitching and moan about the drifting in the video, and they really get irritated with the people who shoot in different. They're like, "Why
I
did
was
you
going to say that's a lot of times because people don't get on the same right.
Right.
Why. So so that's the whole thing. You would like it all to be perfect, but what I'm saying is you can even go into there's so much you can do with changing those little sections also.
Yeah, you're right. Here's my thought on that. I don't. Yeah, it's like 2 frames over an hour, which isn't a lot. I mean, I'm not. For example, I'm shooting a 60-second fucking video. Sorry, and so who cares? That's not a lot of video. If you're shooting a long time, even past 10 minutes, maybe it's more of a risk, and then the more you shoot, more risk. But yeah, I don't want to be annoyed. That's the whole thing. Like, I want to be able to just to do it, drop it, and not have to worry about any of that. So ultimately, I just want Samsung to make a camera on my $900 phone that would shoot in 24 like iPhones.
I could swear that I did all that you were talking about with this. I could swear that there's not 24 in here. And then
the other answer is I just shoot everything in 30 and then it'll be fine.
Well, you could do that too.
But I like the 24. You do notice it. It's kind of cool. But you have to decide then what's going to annoy you. So then Brian's like, so I'd shoot the Sony in 30. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Well, I just shoot it in 30.
Yeah.
Or I just don't use my phone and I'll wait for the second camera and figure it out with the 2 cameras.
Yeah. The other question is, like, if you do use your phone, is it going to be so visible in the footage too?
I'm going to try it. I think that's true. Right. Because it's going to be more crisp.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know how it's going to look.
I mean, I noticed it. It was like night and day, but I didn't care because
it's true.
I didn't care
because of the look you want. Yeah, if you're doing a documentary type cutaway, you see that all the time where the side,
if it's just a view. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Like, yeah, Brian, I respect that. Like that, I thought of that. Like, okay, I'll just shoot the Sony in 30. It's not that big of a deal, and I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. I was just more in theory going, what do you guys think? Like, it's just something that came up. I'm like, I wonder what.
I have a feeling that it will work because I feel like I did it already.
I think what I would do is I'm just gonna set it up and try it, and just to see. But I won't let it taint my process. But just so I kind of get a vibe, and we'll see how much it works out. Or maybe it's not gonna be a long enough video to really test. But we start with a short one. We go, okay, work for 5 minutes. But
I did it with my JBL video, and that's when I got the. And the funny thing is, my battery died on the GoPro, so I lost it. And I can only use one clip in there. And literally the clip was 10 seconds. Yeah. So that kind of issue like that, where it's like just 10 seconds of a wide angle of the back of the room of me, like having my arms up and pointing to JBLs. Mm-hmm. It didn't make a difference with drift anyway. If it did, because
I think Brian's like, it's worth playing with. I think it's worth playing with just because
it'd be fun to know.
I don't know enough. I think a lot of the response I got here was what I was thinking in different ways, and I think they're all valid. And it'll be interesting. And maybe, my experience is different because I'm either not good at putting something together, so it didn't work out, or the equipment's just too different.
The thing is, I'm 99% sure, 99, that it doesn't matter because you're pulling it in at 24. As long as you shoot more, okay, you can't add frames. You can subtract.
Right.
So I'm telling you, you set your DaVinci time frame at 24. You pull in the 30, it's going to convert it down.
Yeah, and then here's the other thing. So the Sony is the main camera. So let's say 80% of your actual viewing is going to be long term on that shot. The other one would be for quicker cutaways and minor clips of talking. You got to wonder if there will be any noticeable thing over the course of a couple minutes,
So I didn't know you can add frames, but I just know that if you're going less, it's a less of a problem.
Okay, you can add frames. That's interesting.
I didn't know you could add frames.
That's over my pay grade, so I learned something new tonight.
Because I think the only way you can add frames is by adjusting the time. Wouldn't that be correct?
I don't know. It interpolates and adds double frames. Wow.
I don't know.
There's so much stuff that stuff can do. That's the whole thing. It's like you can do so much. It's like, it's incredible. it is
Okay.
less of a problem. Okay. Well, these discussions help. Like this is great. I was gonna say we should do this. We have a discussion live. We should have Brian on here live having this discussion. This
Yeah,
is
no one wants to talk about this stuff except us.
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose you're right. That's
You're
too
like, "Hey,
bad.
let's
It's such a great. You're right. It kind of morphs away a little bit, but it's a great discussion. I think.
Because I think really the answer is just what I was saying before. So no one really cares. They're just going to drop it in there. It's going to convert it to 24. It's going to be done. You're going to set up the time. You're going to set up the sound. I have used it over and over and over, and it's never been wrong. Like the sound has come out perfectly dead even every time. Before
You ran a 24 against a 30, dropped them in, synced them up using SoundSync.
I use SoundSync, right? I picked the graph, but before it had that, I was doing the same thing. I do 2 claps beforehand.
Right, but my people still do that for just they'd like to do that to check. But I mean, if you don't, fine. But my point is that you're saying you think you had a 24 get dumped in with a 30 FPS footage, and you synced them up.
I had a 30 dumped into a 24.
Well, but
the timeline is the 24.
I'm saying though, did you have 2 file footages? Because I'm talking about you're dropping 2 cameras. One's a 30, one's a 24.
As long as you're using your sound that goes with the main camera, you won't have an issue.
It should be interesting. I don't think I probably won't be a problem, especially with a shorter video like that. But I'm going to try it. I mean, what the hell? I like to try things and see if we can break it. And
I
don't think it'll break anything.
I think I did the same exact thing with that video. Yeah, and I didn't even think twice about it because I just felt like that would work, and it did. I didn't go back and change anything.
Brian's saying
export a file 24 and 30 and put them on top of each other.
Well,
I don't think you're going to need to do that. Can though.
I think he's saying they wouldn't be in sync. So.
Oh no, he says even if identical, it won't be in sync. No, it can't be.
No, they have to be both taken to 24. Well, one's going to be shot in 24. One's going to be moved from 30 to 24.
Exactly.
I just had that problem in DR. I don't know. What is DR?
Dominican Republic. DaVinci Resolve.
The Dominican Republic. Well, there's a lot of editing going on.
I'm thinking DR. That'd be nice.
Oh, I'd love to go. We should do a whole class down in Dominican Republic. Find a nice little timeshare.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I got to go to bed too.
Tired.
Oh, Brian, thank you for helping me out on that. Jumping in here and giving your.
Brian sleep either. Well, you guys, it's only
we're an hour up.
11 o'clock.
We got another. It's only like 11, but
they're lucky.
Brian and I've noticed Brian's kind of an insomniac like I am though.
I am too, though.
Yeah.
I'm more of a night person, but I have to get up so darn early.
I know. That's the thing. I'm a night person. And when I have to get up early, I get so cranky. And I know you have to. And that's just awful. But I appreciate it, man. It was good. Good vibe tonight.
Yeah, we had fun.
We always have fun. We always have a good time, man.
Actually, I'll probably next week I'll have like a reason about the video, about this whole stream. Like there wasn't much question and ask. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, it wasn't a lot of Q&A tonight, but whatever. Look, your walk around was actually very cool. I thought that was really interesting. And I was actually shocked. I was like, this is actually very cool to see how well this is working.
Yeah, the video came out really nice.
That video was really, really good. Brian's like, I have to get up early tomorrow too. No good. No, it's not good.
I know.
Brian, you got another half hour. When we get off of here, you get another half hour with me. I got other questions I'm sure I need to answer.
Oh, you guys will stay up for another hour.
How many Yodas do you have behind you? Yeah, he liked the walk around. I like the walk around. It was really cool. You'll have to do it again. I think, get your audio figured out and you should do it again.
I'm going to have everything connected. Then I'll make sure I have the audio. Because last time when I did this, as soon as I hit that green, the audio files video, boom, I got 2 audios and I had to mute my mic because I was getting double audio. And that didn't happen tonight. And I just feel like it was because I didn't have everything set up before I started vMix. So I think it was something like along those lines.
I think it's I think it's just So I mean, we should play around vMix this weekend and
Yeah.
see if we got enough where we can take a shot next week. You'll know.
Oof. That'll be nerve wracking.
Or the week after is fine. Don't put pressure on yourself.
Nah, I kind of feel like we got to go for it, you know?
Sometimes you just got to do it. And if we clunk it up, whatever. Who cares, man? That's half the fun. Brian's had to have on the ATEM.
Yeah. The ATEM, right, exactly.
Should I get an ATEM? Do I really need one?
If you can find one used for $200, it's a steal.
Where can I find one used for $200?
Oh, I'm saying that's what I got mine for.
Oh, well, I'm never gonna. You always find these deals. I'll never find a deal like that.
No, you can. I'm just saying, keep your eyes peeled, and like if you could find one for.
This is the bummer. I'm gonna have to buy. I just realized I don't have a cam link for the second cam. I was gonna buy one of those cheap ones.
Yeah,
but they only go at 30. I mean, so the 30 FPS is what you kind of max on those cheaper.
Yeah, but what do you need?
Yeah, I suppose, right? I don't need 60.
No.
Well, but I won't get to throw 60 out of it if we do. Well, I could use the good one I could use the 30 on the
on your main.
But yeah, you're right, because what do you record your shit in? Do you record your videos at 30 for it? So you're not even using 60 anyway.
Never have.
You'd never know. It looks great. I
don't really think anyone needs 60, but a lot of people do.
I'm not married to it, and hell, for my stuff, I just prefer the 24.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a gamer, it's one thing.
Yeah, I get the gaming thing.
Yeah, I get it totally, but there's no need for it.
I don't know. I prefer, the more I play around. I did talk to the guys at the llama farm. I'm gonna set up a time and go out there and shoot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my cowboy hat and go out there. They're like, yeah, anytime you want, come on, shoot some great stuff. I'm like,
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So I got to figure out my camera first.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Just don't get your camera dirty.
I know, right?
No dust.
That's my concern. I got to talk to Brian about that, because I just realized if I'm going to be doing things for the build outs on these acoustic panels or on these cajones in the workshop, how the hell am I going to deal with that? Like, what is the thought on maintaining camera? Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
I'm a little concerned now that I'm like, that's a great idea. Now I'm like, what the hell am I going to do?
Because you're going to have all the wood in the air, right? The sand.
I have a really good filtering system, so I don't have a lot of dust flying around, but you still get some dust. I mean, but most of my stuff is captured into a chute.
Well, I don't think those cameras are sealed. Like my EOS are sealed.
I mean, the 6400's got better sealing, but I don't want to play around either.
Plus, it's new.
So shit, that could be a thing. Damn it. I'm not sure what to do with that.
And that you can get gaff tape in plastic bags and put it on your 5100, and you could record for 37 seconds.
if you're blowing on the backside of it and keeping it cool with some ice, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what I have to do. Yeah. Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to use
webcam. Be careful.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I know how I am with new cameras. I want to baby them.
You should use an IR protector. I'm sure there's got to be something you can get to protect it, but I don't know. I wanted to throw out there. I figured Brian might know a couple ideas I could look into. I'm not shooting anything until I know my camera's not going to get screwed up.
Right. Right.
Get that. I'll do sketches of what I do.
All right.
It's got to be more than just the lens, though, bro. I'll talk to him about that off camera. All right, man.
Go have a good night, and guys, thanks for coming in, and we'll talk to you over the weekend.
Yes, I will be here. Find me on the weekend.
I'm kicking you out. I'm going to say good night, and I'm done wrapping this baby up.
Wrap this thing up. Put the music on. Let's go.
Have a good night, guys.
I know. Later.
Take care. All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping in tonight. I really appreciate it. It was a great night. We just talked about everything, and that's part of what makes it fun. And I'll see you guys next Thursday. But don't forget to stop in to J.A. Smith's channel. I have the link in my description down below. He has his live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're coming from my area on the East Coast, it's at 9 p.m. If you're Central, it's 8, of course. And we do the same thing. We just talk about stuff. We talk about our experiences and we help small YouTubers and we go over a lot of the equipment that we have and we help people utilize this kind of equipment into their live streams. And even if you're starting from scratch, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you get better camera pictures, tripods, little setups, mics for your cameras, mics for your phones that let you do all your kind of recording for YouTube and streaming, and then just level up from there. So guys, have a great night, and I'll catch you on next week's stream. And thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate everybody's input. You mean so much to me, and I can't wait till we do it again. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.